tries to defend, he does good damage, picks up a kill, critically wounding Tarek as well, and now Navi know for sure NRG have fully invested into this round, and NRG have a long control. But what are Navi going to do about it?
Cirque makes his way into the pit. Can't know if anybody's on the site himself, but they may assume that short has been compromised. Navi moving into that position. Flamey in a good position with the scout. He's holding short with the scout, while Electronic goes back towards the side, a preemptive HE grenade. You can stand on the box to have a look. It's a peek that Simple likes to take with a sniper rifle, but Electronic does not have such. He has a look, and Cirque will punish him for it. In the meantime, NRG move up. That's very expensive information for Navi.
That's a massive headshot. Cirque, all he wanted was just some eyes on Long and gets his head blown off. Flamey pushed to the limit here in the corner behind the box. He can't do a single thing. Navi down to 2 players now. There is simply no way that they could afford to retake this. Surely Simple's in CT spawn. Perhaps he can maybe punish a player, pick up a gun, something. But I don't think there's really much in the way of opportunity here for Navi. Boomich will try to get a look in from this catwalk position as well. But indeed, he's going to have to get very fortunate. A free kill. If he gets something, maybe Simple can think about pushing with him. But it doesn't look like NRG are going to give Navi a single thing. And they convert their force buy.
Simple had an incendiary, but looks like he'll choose to hold on to it. See if he tries to steal something away in the late game here. Just holding an angle. Stan being very, very careful. Lovely burst from Simple, but he won't be able to retrieve that gun. That bomb blast will send it down long. Really awkward situation in that short area for Navi. Saw Flamey holding short with the scout. Again, when you've got that smoke up, or even without it, you can peek towards long on top of the boxes, which makes you more likely to get legged rather than shot above the waist or even headshot, as you saw there from Cirque. But it is what it is. NRG win the force buy. We've got Breeze on the creek now. The scout's being dropped. Nothing but the stronger rifles for NRG. No AWP just yet, but plenty of brutality to come.
A little bit of frustration there on Electronic already. Simple pulls out the scout himself, looking for a head. How aggressive is he going to get? We have NRG looking for some damage towards Long. Fantastic headshot coming out of Cirque. That's going to go a long way in creating an advantage for NRG. They've got so much time already. They found this 1 versus 5. They're holding on to position in the upper tunnels. They're looking for Navi's next play, and they're looking to punish it.
You can see Boomich staying close to the tunnel on B. I do wonder if he'll make a push eventually. Smoke's up for the time being. Simple fishing for something in that mid position. Doesn't see the player jumping on Xbox. Bomb's been dropped in the middle. Stan makes his way up. Just about saw him. So there's some information, but not so much they can do about it. As you can see, Navi have all moved over towards the B bomb site. If they are to lose this round by elimination, then the next round is Eco. So they're hedging their bets. They'll all go towards B. If the bomb goes towards A, then such is life. However, it does look like NRG might be splitting the B bomb site. So it may be coming the way of Navi. 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it's one of those things about the A bomb site. It can be hard to get the information of that bomb site without committing yourself to a huge risk. So it looks like they're going to actually indeed go for a B split. Navi have owned this as far as the gamble of stacking the site goes, but they have to defend it. That's a good start. Will they take the bomb back to A? Will they realize it's a stacking time? They're taking heavy losses entering this bomb site. 2 more players hiding in the site. Now there's just one. Breeze against Electronic, and he's going to save the day with that Krieg, but that could have been an absolute catastrophe. But you know what? As you said, James, Navi, they're on a save now. NRG, even though they almost lost everyone, they're going to be happy with the outcome.
As long as you win the rounds. That was a scary one. It didn't seem like they noticed the players towards that car position at all for a second. Down to 12 HP, really could have gone either way, and that is some early frustration. Perhaps Navi won't know how close they were, but they did have to jump with that angle as well, it seems. Some spray to delay the push over towards the B bomb site, and Cirque will have an aggressive look towards Long. He has position on these players. They no longer have grenades, trying to use the numbers. That rifle can be protected. You can see Breeze doing exactly that. Manages to pick it up before the HE lands. And the disposal service is concise.
Yeah, this is looking really good for NRG. They've got some good information as to what or where these pistols actually are on the map, which is half the battle, having that information. As long as they can't surprise you, if you have the weapon superiority and you have, of course, teammates to trade because you have that communication on point, then there's not really too much danger in the round. And because Breeze is being entertained by 1 player, and he's happy to at least maintain control of this, what could be a potential flanking scenario for Navi if they were to get through the doors. But of course, that is impossible. in this round so far. Stan does have the bomb here, and he does have Boomich close to him. I wonder if there'll be a pop flash. There it is. There goes the flashbang. It's absolutely perfect. And NRG are well on their way to B, and as we can see, the round as well.
Blissful ignorance from Stan. No need to look behind him while he's getting shot. He has cover, so he can focus on what's ahead of him. Great focus from him. See his face there in the darkness. Navi moving into exit frag potential situations. Flamey can hop on this box, have a look. P250 for Flamey. He's got a flash, but I don't know how he may want to use it in this situation. So it's not going to be a great start for Navi, as we can see. And I think there's a reasonable argument, actually, that in some cases, when you're on the T side at the very least, it can be more beneficial to win the second round rather than the first. Putting the loss bonus in the bin for the CT side, breaking the money immediately, and getting momentum. Horrible way to start the defensive side of any map.
Yeah, and it's so important as well, because for NRG, the approach that they go for that force buy after the bomb plant, after losing that first round, keeping that pressure up on Navi is so important. One of the most annoying things on the CT side is if you cannot get those AWPs running, and sometimes you want to run 2 AWPs. It's extremely expensive, and that economy, as well as you build on the CT side, gives you more chances to take these aggressive risks.
He saw the gun through the door. Valve, please.
Absolutely.
I thought that wasn't a thing anymore.
So again, James, look, no AWP for Navi. They've got limited utility as well. NRG looking for some flashes towards long, and that might entertain Navi, who started off with 4 towards A at the beginning of the round. That leaves some holes at the mid position for the beginning timings of the round.
From a T perspective, the longer you can keep the CTs with less than optimal buys, the better. That was pretty key in the matches we saw yesterday, and I'm sure it will be today as well. You don't want Simple to be on an AWP. You want it to be hard. You want sacrifices to have to be made. Maybe he's got no Kevlar, can't take positions where he might get naded, so on and so forth. And here is Simple by those middle doors. Standard stuff at the moment. NRG taking the short position. We see Navi have got 2 players towards long. Another issue with not really having perfect money on Dust 2, we'll talk about it in the rounds to come, but if you look at the players around the A bomb site and long, if you have a sniper, for example, around that car position, he doesn't just need an AWP, he needs flashbangs as well. If he needs to support a player who's in the pit with some flashes so he can peek, or a player who's on a site like Electronic, then those flashes are also important. 44 seconds, and the long take is being denied to a degree. But Zeus has got some work to do as well.
They have to win these aim battles. They don't have any utility to stop a push into the site. Great shots again from Breeze. He's really delivering. And Stan will finish things off on that A-bomb side under control now. The situation is looking great for NRG. They'll get the bomb down as they toss it across. No smoke needed. They don't have one, but Navi, they've been absolutely crippled in this position. Again, Navi started off with 4 towards long. They invested a lot of their limited utility in holding long early on. NRG didn't go there to begin with. They delayed their A split, and then Navi, they had no utility at all. Have to win these aim battles, and that's a good frag from Simple. But the problem is that even if he can make an argument to go for this, Boomich is just out of position, so it's not really going to be a possibility. There's no kit either, so Navi are just in desperation mode here. And James, you start to wonder, should they have just taken the sacrifice earlier and just try to play for an AWP as far as, you know, saving more money and just taking a round loss or 2 with ecos?
Yeah, on the plus side for Navi, it's just one of those starts on the CT side where you just are so limited. Again, you're limited in utility, which makes it harder to go for forward plays, pushes and so on. Don't have the AWP either, so they can't really play their game just yet. It will be a bad start, but it won't be too concerning. Every pro has been here before. 4-1 for NRG, and they've put themselves in a situation where they can build some money. They don't want to be losing 4 players like they did on a previous round. They want to be able to have a full buy with 0 issues. If Navi win the next round, they want to keep the pressure up, focus on taking as many players out as possible in that next round. Should they lose it, of course, they'll be aiming to win. Tac pause from Navi as they can make some discussions. They've got some rifles to play with here, and of course they'll be having a big buy in the next round.
Yeah, it's all going to be on that big buy for sure. The AWP will come out, but that's something that NRG know. One of the huge benefits of NRG's position is they can keep a really good track of the economy of Navi. So, for example, in that previous round, NRG know that it's very likely that Navi are going to be playing with rifles, that they're going to be limited on utility, and that starts to give clues as to what the best options are for Navi, which NRG can then play against. We get a really simple A split here. They play a slower round, they make sure that Navi have no utility left, they put Navi in a place where they have to win aim battles in disadvantageous positions. So what Navi have to do right now is show another performance from someone. Someone has to step up. And we will get an investment into this round as they have quite a big loss bonus occurring, and they'll keep challenging long. And there you go. That's what you need to see. Flamey takes down Ethan, and that's a start. And maybe they get the gun as well because NRG cannot hold on to this position.
That last grenade was a smoke grenade for Boomich, and AK will be collected. Flamey will show some presence while his teammates rotate. NRG need to avoid the numbers which Navi have. They could burst in any position. It's kind of in their favor with the limitations they have. It's such a strong angle for AWPers and riflers alike. Quick boost and Boomich can do more. The bomb's been dropped. Disaster is striking for NRG. We said they had to survive this round with numbers. They may not survive this round at all. Tarek alone in the B bomb site, spraying desperately, looking for something. He has to cut these numbers down. This is too much free money for Navi.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one, but one of the best things about Dust 2 is that in positions like this, you're alone against 4 players, there's lots of open spaces. He has a Krieg. Tarek's objective here is to at least get a couple kills, and we'll see what he can do to try to achieve that objective. Of course, making his way in the lower tunnels, he knows that they know where his last position was, and there must be someone waiting nearby. He wins the first battle, takes down Flamey. One more to go, and I think they'll be really happy with this. Tarek, down to 16 points of health now, doing everything he can. He at least gets one more frag out of it, but Navi with, I mean, what a beautiful play from Boomich. The fire's down there, they understand to go for the boost, gets himself a triple kill. Boomich, they highlighted on the desk how important he is to Navi, and we're already seeing some of the value that he adds to the team.
Well, perhaps he can be one of the GoTV picks for this game. I put Breeze on the other side. He's had some strong rifling opportunities already. And again, the corner of that wall is favourable to the CTs because you'll see the T's legs before they see you in a lot of cases, namely with sniper rifles. But that certainly helps. Caught NRG off guard, and they'll pay for it, but they do have a full buy. So here we go. This is a big round. Flamey has the AWP, perhaps playing a spawn. You can see him holding towards that long position while 2 players make their way down towards the lower tunnels for NRG. They'll see that nothing untoward is going on. We've got some Molotovs to clear the other side of the doors. There is an exchange, not quite Morse code, between these 2 teams. That is a very timely HE grenade, though. That's some juicy damage. NRG will make their way through, but then they'll fall back again.
And so there it is. The default is going more or less according to plan for NRG. They still have a huge chunk of their utility because now they've taken this catwalk position. They have tabs on upper dark as well as the longhouse. They start to understand exactly what they want to do. And interestingly for us, we can see that the bomb is the player towards upper dark, and he's actually rotating back towards T spawn. Seeing the bomb in a default towards upper tuns kind of suggests that it's going to be a B play. But now that we've seen NRG rotating everybody towards long, perhaps they were counting on someone seeing that bomb.
And this is what I'm talking about, the flashbang support required for the player in the pit. The player is used on this occasion. He's going to need some help. Flamey, oh, never mind, he's going to die. Up on the plateau, unusual spot for a CT. Not sure what was going on there, maybe just caught with bad timing. And now Navi have some issues towards the A bomb site. They don't have short, they don't have long, they're in trouble. Flamey's going to lose his duel as well. 25 seconds on the clock. Electronic has so much to do on his own, but he can't get the spray down on a short player. Now they've got a cross, but do they have enough utility? Doesn't seem like it, although Breeze seems to be sitting on a smoke grenade. Something's been spotted, that's the bomb carrier, Tarek. Flashbang's gone the wrong way, 10 seconds to get this bomb planted, but they still have control of short as well as long. So that's going to work out for NRG. So much opportunity for Navi in this run. I don't know what the situation was on long with Zeus up behind the smoke. I think he was on the platform. That was really unusual. And again, the round has collapsed for Navi.
Yeah, this was a really bad spot because you want, even if they lose the round, you want a position where they can at least do some damage. We can see that NRG's economy, given that round where Boomich got that triple, is very fragile at the moment. So if Navi even find a way to extract 2 or 3 kills, sacrifice everyone, Navi still have like a pretty big loss bonus to work with. And you can see here Boomich is going to save an AK, so they can threaten a buy in this next round. It will be a strange one, but we'll see what they can muster. But as you say, James, it does seem like there's a little bit of uncertainty on Navi. They don't look quite as clean and focused just yet. A slow start for them on Dust 2.
I would love to see a replay of that situation on long. It was really confusing for me.
Also, we can note that Simple was on the Krieg, and we had Flamey there on the AWP in the car position. So
yeah, Simple seems to be playing B rotate at the moment, and Flamey was over towards long at the beginning and in the car position. So I think it's cool if you don't have to have Simple on AWP all the time, so he's not pigeonholed, because obviously he is an excellent rifler as well. Navi, with all those stolen weapons from that round prior, they are able to buy once again. Flamey still on the AWP. Ooh, that's really unfortunate for Ethan, taking one in the face, and Boomich continues to rain hellfire through that smoke. So he's having a look towards shore. He's got to be careful. That's a very precarious position to be in. And we've got a swing, a wide swing from two NRG players, and they realize that the rest of the Navi are out of position. Flamey could get caught as well, making his way towards that car. You can see him out in the open. If Stanislav can bait the shot, then he can punish. Again, just poor position for Navi. He's used in a really awkward fight with Stan now. 3 players remaining for NRG. That's a big headshot for him. They've still got shots, and now they can plant the bomb for the short position.
Yeah, Stan's doing a great job in buying time, creating so much space for the team. Beautiful call. They understood that there was an area on the map open. They took the gamble. Pays off. Now it's a retake, but it looks better for Navi. It's a 3v3. There's time for them to go for this. There's no kit on any player that's currently standing, so that's an issue. It's going to force their hand to play a little bit more quickly than maybe they would like. And here they go now, moving into position. Cirque is blind. He's going to take the peek there. Can he find an angle? Great stuff. Damage is huge for Navi. Stan has to do everything, has to get the ace, but it is going to be simple to save this one with the help of Boomich. Defuse will be underway, and they will collect themselves an AWP, I'm sure. Navi. 3 rounds now for them.
So he's going from long to short. I don't know if they're trying to move his position around, if they think NRG are trying to target him or something, but they seem to got caught off guard there towards that short position. The angle he was holding, I don't know if he was just aiming to spot and not necessarily fight to the death, because that is an angle you would normally see with an AWP, where you can take a strong shot to the chest and just fall off. But again, Navi, looking somewhat brittle, but they do come out on top. Now we see some limitations. Tarek is down to a Desert Eagle. Cirque is still on the AWP, and we've got double ops now for Navi. They've taken the opportunist AWP from their opponents, it seems. Simple and Flamey with the AWPs. He's got a French gun for this one. Navi will start strong towards long, as you can see from the radar. And now Electronic is rotating elsewhere. Use and Flamey will remain, but Cirque gets a nice entry onto the B bomb site. They can try to use the time afforded to them to find a hole in a Navi defense now.
Yeah, that's such an important kill, because it might create problems here. Simple has to do everything towards this B half of the map by himself, and that's a nice find from him into middle. But you can see he has to be really cautious here, because players could be coming from the tunnel as well. He has Electronic in front of the smoke for support. That's decent damage. Simple goes out to finish it off. Space now for more players to push through that smoke. Navi are looking strong in this defense. It is desperation mode for NRG. They have to try to get into this B bomb site, and Cirque's going to force his way in, or try to do so. Quick flash over the wall from Simple. They do not want this bomb site to go NRG's way.
Not committing into the site just yet. Flamey's on the rotation. He has an incendiary for below the window, should they choose to do that. There's a HE for Simple as well. He can throw that behind Big Box off the back wall. That's the common place, but he's going to go through the doors instead. That's a really nice one for default. There's the Molotov over the wall, the big Molotov. That's a beautiful shot from Cirque. 1 versus 2. He's got to find more. Over the smoke, Simple spotted him. I don't think he's realized just yet. Maybe it's a 4x3. Cirque, what are you doing? 1v1. Zeus through the door, going for the fast flicks. He's still alive. Around double stack, and Zeus will crash around. That was dangerous. That was scary, and we're just getting started.
Oh my god, that was insane. We're seeing some glimpses of what made Cirque so ridiculous, or in this major so far. We're really starting to see what he can deliver on this big stage. It's like he has more comfort. That experience building into this major is really paying off, and that was a dangerous moment. One thing that's really interesting too is that NRG, their economy's not great, but they know Navi's economy's not great either, and they did a lot of damage there thanks to Cirque. So there is an argument to invest here for NRG, but we'll see what they decide to go for. Simple. He really found himself in key positions. What a solid round from him.
That last word started with a B that he was saying there. I'm not sure what it means though. More shortcomings. Boomich on the auto shotgun. Auto shotgun on Dust 2. Not something you see every day, but there's a lot of pistols here for NRG, and not much in the name of grenades. Simple starts strong. Breeze taken up towards those long doors. Smoke up on Xbox, and that will allow NRG to take position on the short area. Now, it may be the Fabled Gauntlet run if they can even get there. The bomb has fallen off behind the Xbox. That's really going to slow them down.
All right, there you go. You got the Deagle working some magic for Tarek. Okay, well, magic is definitely more favorable for Navi. I guess you can pick the better weaponry over that every day. Ethan has found himself in M4, though. He's looking to get a headshot of his own, but it's like he's going to get taken down by the auto shotgun. So that actually worked out perfect for Boomish. Manages to recoup all of his investment and upgrade to the M4. So definitely a big win getting that auto shotgun out. We are tied 5-5. It looked really good at the start for NRG, but as soon as those AWPs came online, I mean, it wasn't the best look like immediately when we just saw it with Flamey, but then when Simple picked it up as a secondary AWP, it's really been looking good here for Navi. They've been very dynamic. He's been hitting his shots. We've seen some good retakes on A. This is shaping up very nicely so far, James, for both these teams.
It is indeed. Five to 5. We wait to see what the buys will look like. The tactical timeout from NRG has come and gone, and the Creeks are being purchased. Breeze has looked really nasty with the Creeks so far. A very accurate weapon. You don't have to scope in with it. It is accurate regardless. Really. Accurate, not 100%, of course. Nothing is in Counter-Strike. The armor penetration is certainly at that big 100%. Boomich will have second AWP now instead of Simple, so it will be Boomich and Flamey with the AWPs. Still waiting for him to have an AWP called Boom Bitch, but maybe another day. That's a great start. It slows them down as well on their approach, which maybe buys them some time to rotate back. A wall of smoke in that long position, but everyone is still alive.
Yeah, so this is always a very interesting dynamic, but before I can go to that, look at this information-seeking game that Zeus is playing. He's been pushed into the dark position. This is really interesting. There's one player on the extremity there that's going to be Ethan he's going to be running into. Ethan's holding for a push, but from the B bomb site, and now the gun's been spotted. There should be a free kill, but Zeus, he goes for it, and he'll get it. Takes a lick of damage, but that's a huge win. That might speed things up for NRG. They've got two options. They have time to recover that position, or they just let Navi know what they're doing, which
they
is not great.
They can't recover that position because you smoked off the tunnel, but also he picked up the smoke from the opponent. Boomic is getting 200. For information, and Tarek is close enough to move on to the A bomb site. This is the opening they needed, and now they're going to start a fake because the bomb's actually outside the B tunnel. He's inviting all of this utility from Navi. Spam. It's an air raid. It's Call of Duty. Where are the dogs at? 3 CTs in a short position. The bomb continues to creep. Everything slows down. And are they wondering? Electronic going through mid doors, but he's still looking towards A. Tarek's being taken out. And gets a free kill. Now they realize what might be up.
Yeah, they had an absolute no idea. This turned out to be such a good situation, and Cirque manages to take down Simple, a free kill. You can see Navi so out of position. They thought it was going to be A. It felt like that was the guaranteed play, especially as Zeus had just scouted the top, he just smoked it. Why would they think any different? But now they're getting absolutely annihilated. So outmaneuvered. What a heads up play from NRG when they saw that smoke to just go and push through it, to not allow Navi to just smoke off one entire area of the map.
The hunger for information is absolutely a big player in that game. Boomic going so wide. I guess he wanted to see if somebody was close along or something. But it cost them everything. Again, Zeus, he took B tunnels. He smoked it off. He took the smoke from the player he fragged, so he could have re-smoked. if they just held position, who knows? I mean, Tarek was moving forward, so maybe he makes a play anyway, and the same thing happens. But here we are, NRG in the lead once again. There is some money for Navi. They're going to go for the fourth buy. We'll see how it looks. That is such a huge frag from Cirque that opens up the round once again. Then he punishes the rotation. Through that CT spawn position. So we've got FAMASes coming up for Navi, but there has been a tactical timeout called by Navi. They haven't had AWPs in many rounds just yet. I mean, that might not even be a determining factor depending on where they play them, but it is an indicator as to the health of their buys.
This is such an interesting game so far between these two teams. I think we've had a bit of everything in terms of the ways that NRG have decided to attack the map and the bomb sites and the responses from Navi. And one thing is certain, we're seeing a really good level from Simple straight away, and that's really important. Obviously, he hasn't had absolutely the best tournament ever so far, but he is a player that will always deliver when you get very deep into a tournament, and so it's very encouraging to see that. Cirque also, good to see that he's hitting his shots, and here he goes, looking for that play. The flashbang will deny him any information. Still looking for that peek. We saw him get one from that position earlier, but he will be completely denied, and Boomich is going close. We do have an AWP on Simple, but the utility game is just so lacking here for Navi. That's going to be a problem if NRG play a slow round.
So this is a position we saw this you spotting in with the Silence them 4, but again, more common to see in AWP here. With a flashbang, Simple will be forced off, but he won't fall off. He has the confidence to reposition. See Tarek in the short area. NRG setting up outside the B bomb site. The smoke that Boomich had has come and gone. He's got a flashbang. There's no one near Boomich, so he has no support of any kind, but maybe he can play around this smoke grenade. You can see Electronics in CT Sport. He might have a flash through the window. He's got to fall for it now, but he might not survive. Or maybe he won't boom it with two!
But still, he will be taken down in the bomb site. Looks to be going the way of NRG. And again, Navi, they don't have utility. How do they get back into the bomb site with no incendiaries, with only 2 flashbangs? They don't have any positioning towards the tunnels right now, and NRG are going to take over the tunnels with Cirque. So right now, they're going to have to, if they're going for this, they'll have to use brute force. They really have to think about this, because they've got no money in the bank as well. And it looks like they may just try to go for the trades, or perhaps they're looking to see if NRG will give them something, give them an argument to really commit to this bomb site take. Here it goes, one flashbang, but the double will certainly seal the deal. It has to. Navi have to get out of there, but Tarek won't allow it. Oh my God, that is insane. With a FAMAS. Finds that headshot immediately after the first kill. You rarely see that out of the FAMAS. Tarek doing God's work with that gun, and NRG will cripple Navi.
That was such a giant gamble to try and retake that round from Navi. Sometimes you just got to say, we're out of position, we don't have the tools for the job. Flamey has to jump in and take all the bullets for Simple to try and trade one player with an AWP. And Tarek, I think, got all the kills there.
Yeah, that was mad. You're completely right, James.
It doesn't leave Navi with much at all. It leaves them with nothing.
I'm really surprised they went for that retake. I completely agree.
Risk versus reward. Well, this is their reward, whether they like it or not, and it's not much. it may allow NRG to target 10 rounds in this half.
Yeah, yeah.
That was kind of suicidal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, you know, if they had a really huge loss bonus, you know, maybe you could make the argument, but they don't. They just don't have a loss bonus. You can see everybody's money is in a pretty appalling place. And again, getting the orcs out is where they have the success, but hey, here comes a catwalk push. They found a headshot, and lots of CTs are moving through to try to finish things off, but Ethan will tap, and it is Navi players falling down at the catwalk position, unable to recover the weaponry that was lost by by NRG, sorry. As Boomich is now the last remainder of Navi with that scout, and NRG just going to push him down, no fear whatsoever, and they will convert. 8-5. Navi need to find some rounds here at the end of this first half. There's only 2 rounds remaining.
Yeah, and their money is still complete arse. Boomich has 3,200. Rest of his team have just over $4,000. So much was lost in that round.
Yeah, for me as well. I'm just thinking back to that. The repercussions seem enormous.
Yeah, and if you look at the investment in this particular round, I am curious as to what their next buy will look like afterwards. They'll be, actually, they'll be at max loss bonus, so that should be okay. But yeah, that decision may have cost them rounds, and maybe they don't recover them in the second half. Could have saved with 4 players, or tried to, brought AWP into another round, but here we are. It is what it is. 8-5 for NRG. They look to play anti-eco once again. Zeus will be tagged in that short position. Tarek continues to creep, trying to ruin some timing. Flashbang from his teammate. 2-man swing, and short has been taken. In the meantime, Boomich is moving forward, which allows Navi to focus on the A-bomb site. That said, they've still got pistols and the scouts on simple.
Yeah, NRG are looking for the pushes. They know exactly what this situation is for Navi. They know what Navi have to do. However, Boomich might actually be in the one flanking position that they're not prepared for. We'll have to see what he can do. He just has a deagle though. Simple has to get something, but great usage of that Molotov will deny Simple anything, and everybody's going to fall here. Great teamwork, great movement. The spacing's on point from NRG. They're leaving absolutely nothing to chance. Boomich gets a nice headshot, but that's all it is, a nice headshot, because the round is lost, and NRG are threatening Navi with a 10-5 opening scoreline in the first half of this best of 3.
See what Navi have in them for this last round. Here are the current scores on the doors. Tarek with a lot of kills on that B-bomb site, but it has been I feel that has been the problem for the most part from Navi, especially early. I think the approach with the scouts on short instead of looking towards long and so on. Wrong tools in the wrong places maybe. Some spam from NRG. Got to be really careful jumping onto that plateau, but Boomich hasn't been shy of doing that. Breeze again with this creek towards long. Not the first time he's done something like this, but he won't over-aggress. Time is on their side.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And a pick like that in a situation like this, with so much time to play, it's such a strong spot to leverage an advantage from on the T side, because the CT start looking for aggressions, they start looking for maybe gamble stacks, they try to find a way to mitigate the disadvantage. Zeus tries to push into the longhouse, but Breeze is waiting for it, and he just takes his head off, and now again, Navi down with no players left alive effectively. Towards that A-bomb side, they've got very limited utility. They don't have an WP. They're having to rotate out of position. They have to go for it. It's the last round. But you're hard pressed to find a way that they could possibly do this. Anything short of A miracle is not going to be enough. They have to do something incredible here, and Boomich will move close to this. Smoke, he's actually sneaking out here, but he does get discovered by Breeze. Breeze is having a great game so far.
And Tarek's in a strong position, top mid, simple. Entertained from multiple angles, and we do get to that 10-5 score. Line for NRG. NRG causing a landslide at the foundations of Navi in the first map. Can they recover? Find out after the break. Switch sides, and the resume command has been entered. NRG are 5 rounds ahead of Navi, who had a very, very rocky start, especially around that A-bomb side. But maybe 5 rounds is enough. They move to the T side now, Navi, with some grenades being purchased here and there. Do wonder if Simple is being thrown a P250. Looks like he might be. There we go. We've got a raid boss. Lovely stuff again. For one-shot range, P250 just shy of double that of a Glock, so really important on a pistol round. On an open map such as this, you can see him fishing for those one-taps, and Ethan's not shy of engaging. May want to try and draw him out a little further. You can see he's got a potential crossfire with Tarek on the corner. Simple realizes that the CTs know it's not the best engagement for them, and things will start to calm down. But the use of the utility from Navi. They've got a Molotov behind the smoke. Often in a pistol round, you'll see that there's a CT standing there, but they've got a Molotov to deal with that. Swinging by the doors, and Stan will quietly move away. Simple goes back towards long to find out what's going on there. Big presence from Navi on short, and NRG playing a reactive game. 3 players in the B bomb site for now.
Yeah, this car position might be quite dangerous. Ethan's so mechanically gifted. Doesn't want to risk it too much. They're trying to play this conservatively, trying to just peel away one player. That's a fantastic shot. Has himself a 1 versus 1 here. Simple! Ethan! That is not a bad start here for NRG, but the bomb does go down for Navi as they fall back to defend from the catwalk position.
Weird spot for them if they get pinched. Of course, the USPs have the range now. MLP 250 for Simple. 2 players starting on short. This could be where the round is won. Flamey waiting, baiting off of Zeus, who's going to be the initial engager there. The flashback from the CT side so far, not so good. We've got a trade from Breeze, who continues. Zeus slowing down, but he runs out of bullets. Even 20's full enough. Electronic 1 versus 4. Doesn't have the range, as we said. And the round will go to NRG. The worst has happened for Navi.
But they could do exactly what NRG did to them. They got the bomb down. I think they have to go for that force buy, just like NRG did. Get that Krieg out and find the right spot to try to trade players. Once you can do that on a map like Dust 2, you can create a lot of problems for the CTs. They can be really caught out of position because of the long rotation time. So we'll see if the approach is identical, if Navi will try to fight long. Because imagine this as well. You're in a situation where Navi go for that long fight. What if NRG try to trade them there? Well, that could still be a really good spot for Navi to just get a 3v3 early. So looks like they won't be going for that long aggression. Looking more like a default here, actually, from Navi. They may have a short set piece in mind, but they have to keep everybody with grenades alive, and that's a lot of grenades, James. That Simple had, and he's dead. What a headshot from Cirque. I'm surprised they challenged him there before getting into position.
Hard not to on Dust 2 sometimes. Cirque makes his way towards that A-bomb site. A 3-0-2 set up now for NRG. Stan just spotting through the doors, as you can see on the radar. Cirque spotting on short, so there are advantages to be had here from Navi, but they need to avoid getting wrecked by that scout. They need to get the numbers on the bomb site of A. They've got the Molotovs, they've got the smokes to set up. Tarek has an M4 though by that car position. That's going to be a problem, but he's got no flashes to support Cirque. Breeze does, but he's miles away, so this is going to be an interesting one.
Beautiful Molotov, that is a necessity. And here comes the push. Tarek is there with the M4 for support for the scout of Cirque, and Cirque's going to go deep there with that scout, trying to see what he can find. Great frags though from Flamey. It might have to be all Flamey. He might have to go for the ace here. Boomish is just on, and Deagle, he's got to get the plant down. Flamey defends so that they can get that bomb down and ticking away, and it will. As Flamey looks for a jump peek, anything. Boomish there as well. You've got to be careful if you're Ethan and Stansel. He might go for the boost. Indeed, it's somewhat telegraphed here, but no one's going to go down. Flamey has to chance around these barrels, picks up another headshot. Stanislau doing what he can with his MP9. The jumping accuracy is very good, and with Flamey down low, maybe there's a chance for a big swing from Stan. Can he find it with this MP9? Trying to tease out the perfect spot there. Finds the 1 versus 1! Stanislau makes it happen. The MP9 is absolutely sick, and NRG steal it away.
Those bursts, absolutely disgusting. Stan with nerves of steel, the patience, he has a kit, he knows he has time. They were almost lining up for him. Nothing is going the way of Navi in this game of Dust 2. Absolutely nothing. That has got to be extremely frustrating for them.
One thing though that's crazy to me, James, again, we saw that the play from Navi wasn't to invest in as much weaponry as NRG did in this same round on the first half. Instead, what they said is, we're going to get utility and sacrifice some weaponry to go for this set piece. And one of their players who has all the utility commits to a huge fight against Cirque at the beginning of the round and dies. That's not what you want. The round is supposed to happen.
Meat and potatoes! So many calories in the long doors, and Breeze is here to add even more. Half-tack burgers, all the sauce. 3 versus 3. Navi will hold on to the position at least. Oh boy, that's a nasty one. Cirque is fishing for something, and maybe he will be offered it. One more flash in the hole for Navi. They know where the AWP is, but look at the flanks. We've got a double flank. In Cirque, they believe. We've got Stan up top mid. We've got Ethan in T-spawn.
And they have to go back. They don't have any smokes for long.
And they have one helmet. Sorry, they've got 2 helmets on the 3 players. This MP9 could be gnarly. Does Stan realize? Was he seen? I'm not sure. Quietly moving back. Oh, look at Ethan. Look at the baits on up 1. Can he find a second one? He swings wide at the MP9, and surely he's done enough. Electronic with 8 HP. Cirque in that short position. I think the scope was heard. He was close, but it wasn't close enough. And Navi haven't been in this entire game so far.
Oh man, and that was a good shot for Navi. We talked about it before. One way that you can really get into the game if you don't have options to play a long round, if you don't have a lot of utility on the T side, is just try to get the firepower, get the bodies in towards long, and try to just trade frags. If the CTs fight you like this, you can get maybe a 3v3 at the beginning of the round, and that's actually what happened. They got that 3v3, but NRG, they're so good at reacting. They immediately pushed the B players and the mid players towards the flank, effectively boxing Navi in. They didn't have utility. They couldn't push towards the A bomb site. They had to go back, and as you said, James, the bait setup that NRG created in that moment, that is beautiful. They were thinking ahead. They really understood exactly what to do. And now, I mean, they are proving themselves to not only be playing smarter, but they're hitting shots like crazy here. So this is starting to get really scary if you're a Navi fan.
Navi are being skinned like a squirrel on a street market skewer. It is nasty. It is unpalatable for some of the fans in attendance. And look at this buy. What kind of buy is this? This is Dust 2. You can't buy this. Flamey with an AK-47. He has a lot to do here. His teammates can support with utility, but they need to stay alive. They need the numbers alive for Flamey to get openings, for weapons to be collected. NRG being denied information early. Boomich has taken the short position with ease, and it looks like he'll be posting up some grenades towards the A bomb site. He's going to pull Cirque out of position, and Breeze is heading towards long, but it's a trap. They're going towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, Ethan's there in the corner. The flashbang will wear away, but Zeus connects the headshot straight away with that UMP. Now this is an interesting spot. Stan can't really commit for anything here. He's got to wait for his teammates. He's trying to slow down the bomb plant as well, buy his team as much time as possible. However, the bomb will finally be planted. A forward smoke as well to create space for the CTs if they eventually go for that door push, but they have to wait for Breeze to get into position towards the tunnels. But there's already 2 Navi players in the tunnels. It is an impenetrable fortress. I don't know how he can do anything there. This is going to be so difficult for NRG.
They need to be given something. They need to be offered something, and that might be the go signal. Just going through the doors, and Flamey could be traded. Indeed, he will be. And now there are chances. Better bomb is pretty ticked. I think NRG might be playing containment, maybe forcing them all to die, but they're moving in. They could actually win it. There's only 1 T on the site. There's a trade. So does he realize he's got a hold? He's got a hold. It's the only way to win the round. Boomich is coming in with a CZ. The round will be won, but maybe no one survives, and that could be enough for NRG.
Absolutely. Just that is so painful. Yeah, they win the round, but they spend everything. They start this round with like $3,400. That is not cool. That's not cool, James. NRG are in an amazing position because they committed there.
Yeah, it did break the money for NRG as well. They got a lot closer to winning that round than I might have thought.
Yeah.
But they didn't win it. So maybe there's a chance now for Navi. After all, yes, everybody died. But at the moment, in short term, it favors Navi because the money wasn't there to withstand it for NRG. So they've invested. They've got the pistols now and the scout. So just like we saw in the first half, maybe this will also be an issue.
And they're pretty fast to make a play. The catwalk circle distracts in that mid-doors position. But now Tarek's looking for those 1Ds. The jiggle on those angles from long range is really damaging, really painful. You can sometimes find really quick headshots. Very scary stuff there. Simple takes down Cirque, one of the biggest dangers gone. But there's still 2 Deagles, Breeze and Tarek, holding on to those for now. We've got Tarek on the short position, or actually he's gone to CT, and it is Ethan with the 5-7 close range on catwalk. This is actually a great weapon for this range. And Navi going back to long here. This is a really smart play for Navi. They've got only 2 smokes, but they could effectively cover long with those. They've got the flashbangs. They've got just enough utility-wise to attack this site. There he's go though. He's looking for those headshots. Oh, that smoke is scary as well.
They could do something behind this, maybe. I say they, but now it's only Breeze. Stanislaw is miles away. He's on a hiking trip. Oh, that's a nice start, but it's not a good finish. Stanislaw with 12 HP. Not really a lot he could do. Maybe he could try and hope to pick up a rifle. Again, he may need to be gifted something. A player out of position, caught by surprise, perhaps, but with no kit. Surely he's just got to be fishing for something. Position seen, and that is pretty much the round over. Running away now. Not sure if you spotted him, but Navi are moving to 7, and perhaps there is life in the old dog yet.
Yeah, a couple kills coming in from NRG, so they've definitely done some damage. That will prevent Navi from being able to purchase an AWP. And that's actually really important because that does allow the CTs to be more aggressive and to feel more comfortable going for really fast plays towards long. It allows you to move around the map more. So that's a really big win from NRG. And let's not forget, they're in a position where if they win a round really soon off their first buy, they could be in a situation where maybe Navi won't be able to, well, they'll be forced into a half buy or something like that. And then all of a sudden, NRG, they're at 15 rounds before you know it. So they're looking really good from that perspective. Navi actually pick up a Mag 10 here, James. So you're getting the B vibes from that.
I would certainly hope so. Be interesting, unless you jump into CT spawn or something like that, how else you would use it. But it's a good read of the economy of their opponent. Simple will post up on long. There is a flash, however, for Stan over the pharmacy sign. Wrong kind of medicine. Not really what Navi are looking for, but they'll be patient. No overextension. Simple moves away from the angle. It seems he'll change position and Boomich will be left to spot. There's a cue they're waiting for NRG to deploy this grenade. Maybe it's aggression from the CT side. There's the bait. Boomich throw the grenade and he spotted 3, maybe 4 players, and Navi can be active elsewhere. That's a favourable engagement for Boomich because he can strafe, of course, with the Mac 10, but that bomb's been dropped and things go from bad to worse. Standing and dueling with multiple players.
Oh no.
And there it is. This is falling to pieces for Navi. Not like this. Surely not like this.
Stan, he's got Kevlar, he's got the Krieg. Zeus goes for the challenge, takes Stan down. That's the most dangerous player gone. Bomb on the ground. Breeze, is he going to die? I think he's in cover. He's actually going to take a couple of points of damage, but he goes out. Chance for Breeze. Wasn't ready for it though. Tarek, he's picked up that Mac 10, that fateful Mac 10 that Boomich was carrying. If he gets the drop on one of these players, maybe there's something to be done here. He's listening for the sound cues, trying to figure out when he can move forwards, when they have to commit to the site eventually. There it is. Are there any guns to be picked up here for Tarek? Indeed, there's a Krieg on the ground, but he wants that element of surprise. He wants to keep things covert. He needs to keep things quiet as he creeps up towards the window, looking to find one of them off guard. There it is. Where's the next player? He doesn't see him in time, but they've done crippling amounts of economic damage to Navi.
This is really scary stuff. They're winning rounds, but boy, are they becoming dangerous. Marvelous. The odds are not fantastic for Navi on Dust 2 at the moment. Almost 6. If you're feeling the comeback, then you know where to go. All right, we've got NRG 5 M4A4s, and we've got a dead Stan already. That was pretty damn quick. Great opening pick from Simple. That's what you want to see from him, especially when there are 5 rounds to claw back.
Yeah, and that's a cool smoke to throw as well. You know, if there was to be a fast play, at least Breeze gets to deny that. And he's standing right in front of the smoke, so if someone tries to push it, he can block them, and he knows that he'll be able to see that gun, and he'll get a favorable engagement. And just standing in the smoke for now, and it's going to dissipate. He might be able to take over this longhouse position. Meanwhile, oh my goodness, he's found a lot of damage to the lineup. He'll take some damage for the doors himself, but gets that information that Navi is starting to push towards that catwalk position. And that's really critical information to have. Understanding the pacing, that's going to allow them to better understand when to throw those HEs or incendiaries or flashbangs towards Cat from the A bomb site itself.
B situation is looking really bad for Navi, for NRG at the moment, with only Tarek there and no one even close. If the B bomb site's taken, the round is over. If you can look at the positions of NRG at the moment, there's no way they go back there. But for now, Navi going to post up towards the A bomb site. They don't have any lurkers towards B. That said, Flamey is moving to B at the moment. So playing anti-flash, more grenades being deployed towards that A bomb site, but they position themselves for a split of B, so Tarek's going to have a lot to do. Time may be on his side. 27 seconds for him to do something. That Molotov is an issue for Eden. No boost behind the box, and Tarek makes a forward play. He can't take the bomb out, but he has tunnels. At least that's something.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's what you're supposed to do. But look at Boomich go! He's taking down 2 around middle. That's not a bad look, and he's going to seal the deal, I think, for Navi. Had he died in that position, as you say, James, Tarek, he made the right play. He knows he can't hold the site. So taking the position, which more likely only has 1 player to deal with, is going to allow you to make a retake happen. But, well, Boomich shut it down. And I've got to say, really impressive Boomich. I think one thing that I've noticed from Boomich is that he isn't putting himself in positions, or at least his role on the team, on the T side of Dust 2, is he's pushing for information. He's running fakes. He's the guy throwing nades. He's calling rotations. He's so active and communicative. And Navi are going to take away everything, so they're looking better now.
Start to wonder about these B retake attempts on both sides, how pivotal these rounds will be. All that success, all the shouting in an NRG booth has quelled for now. Still with a 4-round lead at the moment. But since the pistol, really, it's been 4 rounds in a row for Navi, more or less. Has been plenty of momentum has been on the T side in both halves. And we have a tactical timeout from NRG as they discussed the round to come. They've got $3,000 per person, so there's not too much to offer in this particular round. And they're at maximum loss bonus, so we may see more toys in this round than we would otherwise see. And they've been dangerous. They've almost won a few of these rounds.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean, that's NRG are one of those teams, aren't they? That if you just give them a couple of deagles, and pretty much any one of them can really go off. They're so good across the board mechanically, individually. They are phenomenal players, always very dangerous. And I would be pretty sweaty and nervous if I was Navi when I'm going in on rounds like this. You never quite know what kinds of risks the pistols are going to take, but Simple will start off with posting up on the doors as per the usual, and he's not going to see anything. And perhaps Navi can find an opening kill here. It's looking good. Electronic has the position, but he can't find a shot. It's Breeze to connect the shot. Maybe he finds another one. He'll get taken down by Boomage. Electronic, we need to see him hitting those.
At least Navi have the area control, and that's really important at a stage like this. In a game where they've had a lot of difficulty against Ecos, against 4 spies. The fact that they've traded, they have 4 players alive, they have control of long, is really important. If that whole area was a question mark and maybe the rifle was collected, then things would be a lot worse. But we can see how active NRG are being. They're moving around, they're trying to preempt the plays of Navi, who have no one spotting in mid. You can see Circa's gone through middle doors. And that may give NRG the confidence to move towards A. Indeed it does, you can see their movement on the radar. So again, Navi, you wonder if they're nervous, if they're going to have something that's going to be missing in a situation such as this, if no one's going to be watching their 6. For now, Flamey is, but that still weakens the play towards A.
It's going to be very scary if there's a few of those deagles start flying. We start seeing heads rolling. And Dust too, Boomage indeed covering that flank, but it will be a 1v1 for Circle. All he has to do is connect that initial headshot and follow it up with one more bullet. And look how tentative Navi are giving the utmost respect, and that's a free one, surely. Oh, he tries to shoot the backpack. Eventually, Stanis will peek, but there it is from the back. The patient shots from Cirque does some additional damage, but Navi control the situation, bring order to the chaos, and they have themselves 10 rounds against the 13 of NRG now.
Yeah, just for those of you at home who are unfamiliar, the backpacks that the CTs wear on Dust 2 are not part of the hitbox. On old Dust 2, there were some funky positions around short where you could hide in the corner. If you weren't paying attention, you might not spot a model there. They're a bit worse on new Dust 2, but still, if the backpack is sticking out, you can't shoot the backpack. You've got to maybe go for a penetration shot of the dome through the corner of a wall. NRG finally back on a bite. Feels like it has been eons. Cirque finds himself with an AWP. They've got a reasonable level of utility, NRG, and they've got a stronghold of the long position for now. So presence shown by Navi, but surely there's no way they try to make a push through these doors anytime soon. A 2-1-2 setup from the CTs at the moment.
He's doing it again, James. He already showed this.
Stay here, does he? What's going on there?
And it works again.
No.
Oh my God. How
does he get away with that?
Fool me once. Shame on you, fool me twice. And I'm a fool. Something like that. And that's not a good look for Navi. They'll lose one player immediately. And the other issue there as well is that Navi don't have anybody keeping tabs on that position. So they don't really know if there could be a push coming from there as also. And they're going to commit towards A, it looks like. And already we've got great positions from NRG. But NRG are not fully rotating towards A. We've got Tarek and CT spawn. So this setup from NRG is really robust. You can see Zeus going to check that flank position. Navi are waiting because, again, they need to, if there is a flank to happen, they need to mess that flank timing up.
Speaking of timing, we are reaching the 30-second mark. Navi looks for counter grenades on that short position after posting up the smoke. They didn't get any. Cirque is waiting for the flashbangs. He's got to look for a player to potentially drop as well. He doesn't have the angle for that. He will spot and he will flick and he will hit the shot. Can they get to the site? 18 seconds to plant the bomb. He misses. Electronic going past, and now the bomb can be planted, but with 3 players alive, it won't be easy to hold that short position. Of course, Breeze has had long this entire time after his smoke trick. Going through those doors to see what's going on over there. In the meantime, NRG have got a shot to take if they want to.
No nades now, though, for them. There's some flashbangs and Molotov to work with for NRG. That's a good nade. Zeus, who chunks down to 40 HP. Electronic will be absolutely pivotal. Oh, my God. The timing is appalling there for Navi. It's all down to Simple against 4. He's got to beat Breeze, but he can't. He falls, and that will be Navi falling in this round. NRG, it's been a while since they managed to post a round up on the board. It's been 5 in a row for Navi, but finally they are back with the defuse.
Indeed, it has been 5 in a row, but that's history now. The next record is in favor of NRG. 4-round lead, 2 rounds away from the first map. Doesn't feel like Navi have been as close as the score would suggest, but that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, let's see what both teams have to offer. 2 AWPs out now for NRG. Ethan will have the second AWP. He's headed towards the B bomb site. 3 players in the tunnels for Navi. You can see Simple looking for a player to boost up. Again, you can't do that for free. If a team with an AWP has a good spawn towards that tunnel, generally speaking, you'll see the CTs drop a smoke up first. But anyway, Tarek, what does he choose to do? He's got a lot of players coming his way. Looks like a fast one from Navi. He's lost his vision now with that second smoke grenade. Boom is taken out first, though. Ethan with some lovely flick round construction. Tarek goes through the smoke, but he'll be traded. That sets a 4 versus 2 for NRG. We've got Ethan showing presence, can't see anything, shooting anyway. Electronic now is in a very precarious spot. Ethan taken out by Simple, looking towards the car when Stan is. Cirque rotating, this is going back and forth, 2v2. Now it's Electronic, he's got a minute 10 on the clock. He knows where Stan is. Spot Breeze, but can he find the frag? He can.
And he's got the bomb in a minute to go. He's got an HE and a flashbang now, which he just picked up. And Stan, no utility on him unless he finds something as he runs over. And he's got a kit. So Electronic, he's going to know that he has some time to set up post-plant here. There it is. Where does he choose to go? Jumps across, and he was spotted, I believe, by Stanislaw, and he's going to see that. I think he was a little bit frustrated. We saw on the player camera as we see him falling back to that pit position. It's all about the precision here. Stanislaw, the in-game leader for NRG, the most recent pick up to the team, looking to see where the peak will be. Surely Electronic will be favored here. He's going to need to peek up and see Stan first. But can he land the shot? There it is. Now Stan is warning of where he's coming from, trying to find the pre-aim. Stanislaw, oh my God, he takes his time and absolutely nails Electronic. But can he get to the site in time for the defuse? It's going to be a close one. He's got back in. He's going to go for the stick. Couple of seconds. Can he make it work? It's going to be so close. No! Oh, it's a good try from Stan. But Electronic, even though he doesn't hit the shot, he does enough. He delays Stan just enough.
Still in the game are Navi. Still in the game. The money's not perfect for NRG. The buy will come out regardless. The gap is close to 3. It may be hard, it may be ugly, but if they can do it, then it doesn't matter.
One thing that really impresses me about Stanislaw, James, is he always looks incredibly calm, always taking his time. It's pretty incredible.
The snipers are fishing in mid. Cirque's looking for the off angle. Sometimes you can look for players to move into that top mid position where these boxes are towards the left of Simple's POV. Cirque's looking for players to come out of the lower tunnel. Be careful, you see Simple's fishing, he knows these sniper angles, he knows what Cirque might be looking for, which is why Cirque's in a more defensive position. Cover with the bricks. Minute 15 on the clock. 3-0-2 set off for NRG. They've got Tarek in that goose position. Their utility is extremely low for NRG. Cirque has a flash he could offer for support for Long if it's required. For Breeze, who's in the pit, and vice versa. So he's above the pit, not in the pit. He may fall back later on, we'll see. Navi with control of short. They post up the smokes again, maybe looking for a response, but again, NRG, they're low on utility.
It's going to be very difficult to hold on to this. Tarek is really key in that goose position, the graffiti spot. And there's only one Molotov, which will likely go to the slope from Zeus. So Tarek might be unharassed. There goes Cirque with a quick flick shot. In fact, it does go to Tarek. He's forced to peek. He gets one on the spray down. The punish comes very late. Now Breeze defends. Oh no, he drops the gun. He tries to find that next pickup, but it's going to be Flamey to take him down. Cirque trying to hit the flicks, but he's going to miss everything now. And Ethan could save this one. Bomb goes down in the nick of time as Ethan waits by the smoke, waiting for Stanislaw to get into position on the flank.
Panic on the A bomb site. Stan moves in slowly. Neither player has a kit. Maybe there's one on the site, maybe there's one on long. Ethan alone now, trying to back off. Will there be a trade? He's just got to be careful. He's got to play the 2 versus 1. And Ethan will back off and try to hold on to this rifle. And Navi are going to move to 12. They looked out of it in that first half, but somehow they are winning almost every round in the second.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting because if you look at how NRG were playing it, I mean, I don't think you can argue too much with their approach. I think there's 2 schools of thought, but the approach they took was to try to continually apply pressure to Navi, to never let Navi get a grip of their economy. But being on the T side of Dust 2, you still have a lot of options with low economy for that, playing that T side out. So it seems like ultimately in the long term, it's ended up backfiring a little bit for NRG, as it took them a long time to establish their own economy. And as you say, here we are. 2 rounds is all that separates these 2 teams now, as NRG sit 2 away from the win in map 1. And Navi look more dangerous than ever so far in this series.
NRG do not have much to fight with. Let's get into the game. The round is live. Minute 45 on the clock, and thank you. We've got a push on a short position from Tarek and Breeze. They've got a deagle, they've got 2 flashbangs. Maybe there's some kind of burst play to be had. We've got Ethan by the mid doors with an M4 as well. You can see he's snuck in. In the meantime, there is a long take. No one's really in position to do anything about this. A reposition from Breeze with a P250, not ideal as the man who's potentially engaging on the site. In the meantime, Ethan's looking for information towards B. Now, he sees nothing for the time being, but does he look towards CT spawn? The bomb is on the way. Has he got some sound cues? Surely he has. He's going to have a lot to do, but there's no rotation just yet, so maybe it will be a surprise.
Oh my goodness, that's a really awesome first shot just before the pop flash comes in, and he escapes down towards the stairs as well to the lower position, so they cannot trade him. That is a great start for Ethan. Also, let's look at the time it kills. The bomb was rotating all the way towards tunnels. It is not safe. They cannot clear it. Now they have to go all the way back to long, and they have to start getting a move on. NRG are going to realize this, and they can start to set up towards A. This might be a battle against the clock.
Yeah. They've got 2 Molotovs, Navi, although one is with Flamey, who's in mid, so they've got 1 Molotov, which is relevant, to try and clear position to stop the burst from NRG, who still have 5 players alive, and indeed time is going to be of a great issue. The flashbang doesn't quite work out. The frags are coming in from the PT-50, from the Deagle. Simple missing the shots, and another one. He hits those all day. They get 0 frags in that round. What the hell's going on, Dan?
Oh my god, the one rifler, Ethan, moving covertly through the tunnels to try to get information for the team. That was the big risk for NRG. It was a play for frags, it was a play for information, but ultimately it came at the worst time for Navi because they, again, look at what happened on long. They were forced to push much more quickly than they would have liked, and that allows the pistols to get to create chaos and abuse that chaos. NRG with pistols, James, we said it up before, we said it time and again, they are extremely dangerous with those pistols.
After such a long, laboured comeback from Navi, to lose a round like that and put their opponent on game points, just wait until you see what they have to bring into this round. This is a terrible way to claw your way back into a game and then potentially lose a map.
It's amazing as well that Ethan actually took the perfect off angle. If he'd been a bit further forward, like a step forward, it wouldn't have worked out that well. If he'd been a step back, the flash would have come in and he would have been blinded and killed, and then the round's over because they'll just get into the B-bomb side. So that somehow Ethan managed to find the perfect off angle. It's kind of crazy.
15-12 for NRG. They are so much better equipped. Simple's the only person with grenades, and he has a Krieg in this round. The rest of them on Deagles, a butcher by. Moving into the lower tunnel position. How on earth do they even dare try and take the long area without a spawn? There will be a lot of fishing in this round. NRG ready to defend around the A bomb site, around that long position.
Absolutely pathetic right there from Navi. I'm watching that game. I was laughing at how bad some of the things they were doing was. Yeah. I don't normally go in on like players or teams or anything. I don't normally go in on like players or teams or anything. I don't do that. But they weren't prepared for this. If you didn't realize that Dust 2 was going to be one of the 2 maps here, what are you even doing? What are you doing with your prep time? I made a list here of just some of the things that they did that blew my mind. Dry peeking mid versus scout, just heads up challenging, right? Dry crossing long with utility, right? They had utility, but they didn't use any of it. Flamey having the first AWP on the CT side and playing car while Zeus is trying to do some stupid one-way smoke. You've got a double AWP setup on their CT side that doesn't include Simple. What's going on there? Why is he not AWPing? They're on their CT side as well, in their early protocols, they're wide picking long, they're wide picking tunnels. Of course people on default are taking duels there. I have no idea what Navi were doing in this map, and the fact that we're still this close, what did NRG even do right?
Here's what emphasizes how bizarre a game this was for Navi, right? What was going on in that 2v2 where Flamey just threw the bomb directly between him and his teammate right out in the open, right? That just said they were just uncoordinated the whole map through, basically. If it wasn't for Boomich with a bunch of big rounds, they got that round away from Cirque, thankfully. Oof, this could have been a stomp for NRG.
Yeah, I agree with Chad. There's so many things wrong with Navi's CT protocols. The dry peaks on B tunnels, the dry peaks on long A when you have full utility. That kind of stuff is, I mean, just, it's so out of meta. I couldn't even believe my eyes when I was watching them. And it's fine to dry cross long A, right? It's fine. Do it once, maybe do it twice. But that third time that they did it, this round where they lost the eco, it's almost inexcusable in my opinion at that point. It's so obvious, especially considering that NRG had B tunnels control. I mean, there's just so many areas of this map that Navi disappointed me that it's hard for me to even be remotely positive.
Let's go on the NRG side, though, because this guy was a stud right here. Every time I saw him in the gunfight, he was getting the first guy at least, if not doing damage to the next guy. What a stud.
Yeah, I mean, what's so interesting is, you know, it's equal in clutches, equal in opening duels, and yet one team significantly disappointing in contrast to the others. NRG, though, Tarek, you can see him on your screens, was the standout player from them, and understandably so, definitely turning heads and popping them.
I didn't even go through the first 3 rounds of the game. They won pistol, they lost the 4 spy, Okay, that happens. It's Counter-Strike. Then they did a B stack, and they had a 2v1 versus Breeze on the bomb site where he didn't even realize they stacked, and they still lost that round. Like, the list goes on here for what Navi did wrong. NRG, all they had to do was play heads-up Counter-Strike, and they did that well. And Tarek, I guess he thrived in that environment because he was an absolute monster, as that highlight package just shown.
I think, though, you have to give some credit to Stanislaw in this game. Like, on the T side, some really nice mid-round reads, switching up. I love that fake when they went towards B with the bomb.
The 5-5 fake was
they
the round
really
that
drew in
literally
so many times.
the map. Yeah, the 5-5
Exactly.
fake where Zeus gets the kill in upper B tunnels and the round still ends at the B bomb site. That was the turning point of the entire match. Stanislaw should have won that one-on-one versus Electronic, and he played that beautifully. There were so many good things you can take away for your energy. Cirque's opening duels, he was 4-2 in opening duels. He had some nice flicks. Everyone from NRG is showing up.
Yeah, and showing up in such a big way with Mirage to play. Gentlemen, it's time to put your thinking caps on. Second map. Navi, understandably, have not impressed you on Dust 2, but this is the battleground they chose to bring it to.
I've got a problem here. I've got to ask these guys, if they really believe Navi's going to win this series still, they have to win this map, obviously. I have a problem, because on this particular map, I always thought part of what made Navi good on this map was that Simple was so absurdly good on this map, like Ziwu with Vitality. The Simple that I saw do that in the past has not arrived at this tournament thus far.
Yes, that's actually something I was thinking about as well. Is that's what scares me the most about this Navi prediction. Is in the past, Simple was able to take over the B role for Zeus. He was able to op ticket at A. He was able to control mid, throughout all the defaults of the T side. I don't know if I see that Simple here right now.
And let's look at this. They've played it twice in this tournament. Once was against MIBR, who had their coach standing in, and the scoreline was still 16-11, and then they lost to Crazy 16-11.
Yes.
They even won a round in that Crazy game that I remember, and they got through, and then they went for a B execute after, knowing, the other team was probably going to be on this weird buy, and they just full executed from the start of the round, ran in, got mowed down. So even the calling on this map from Navi has been very lackluster in this tournament thus far. Any faith that I had about the big name showing up is gone. Simple was towards the bottom of the scoreboard. He was not doing anything in that match.
Yeah, and something we talked about as well, you guys made it so clear that it was the big stage that was convincing you. The reason Navi was coming out of your mouth was because you believed you weren't going to be seeing the same performance that we've seen to get to the playoffs. One map, that was enough for you to have that confidence waver.
So I will still back Navi blindly just because they have Simple, right? I do have faith that Simple will show up in this game. I liked what I saw in their second half of T-Side Dust 2, some of the executes off Catwalk. I mean, yes, some were lackluster, like we mentioned before.
I love it. NRG have arrived in the Mercedes-Benz Arena, one map up, and welcomes to their booths.
I'm just struggling to see Simple having a good game. I never would say that I've seen him having 2 bad games back to back, but like at Long there, where a player just runs out from spawn and he misses like 3 or 4 AWP shots. Sure, they're not easy AWP shots, but they're simple AWP shots for Simple. They're ones that he hits every day of the week. If they're going to win this map right here, I'm not putting Simple on the table as a player I want to show up. It needs to be Boomich, it needs to be Electronic, I need Flamey to be in there, and Zeus to make some big plays, because Simple is missing, and I can't count on him after what I saw on map number 1.
And that factor, if you remember, I said before, I thought maybe if it goes against NRG, it is the factor of, your face is Simple, and what if he's going off as a major? That has not been on the table whatsoever. Like, at the moment, Cirque was loving this game. He was cheering, he was laughing. Everyone seemed to be having fun on NRG, even when it was getting close. So, at the moment, Navi haven't had to make NRG respect them.
Yeah, I will say this. I don't think Simple has ever been good on this new version of Dust 2. I said it before the game started. He looks out of place. They have him in this mid B role, and I don't like watching Navi play Dust 2. I think he can bounce back on Mirage. I think this is what they prepared for.
It's one of his best maps.
And I definitely have faith that at least he'll put up good statistics.
Well, and a good show, fingers crossed. It did seem like it was a rather one-sided affair on NRG's map pick. This is where Navi chose to take it. An interesting conversation as well is that when you saw the interviews from the Legends stage, with NRG, every time they took a tactical pause, they kept reiterating energy, just maintain this energy. They've been trying to do it during their break as well. Cliches, of course, given the name, but they've been talking about this momentum, this air around the team, and as unquantifiable and as floaty as it sounds, it does seem to be working for them. Smiles, jokes, banter. They don't want to remember just how important this is. Legacy for themselves, for their individuals. The first time on the stage for a lot of them.
Yeah, and look to Tarek, MVP of a major. He's won the major. Same thing that Stewie did over there at Liquid. He seems to bring that. That's what that Cloud9 roster had. They actually had some personality and some pizzazz about them. And it feels like since Tarek's been in this team, especially since Stan's come in, they're going in that same route. They're actually getting some confidence. We just saw them show personality to walking out to the stage. You guys seen that before from NRG?
When was the last time you saw that out of NRG?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're having fun, exactly like you're saying, Alex. And It's not that I doubted them coming here. I had Navi as my favorite because of the big stage. But if they continue this form of Counter-Strike, there's no reason they can't go all the way to the final.
No, absolutely not. And it does look like the fist bumps are coming in, which means it's time for our second map here at the Counter-Strike Major quarter-final between Navi and NRG. North Americans looking to continue to take a step forward in history. It's back over to the casters, DDK and James Bardolph.
Thank you so much, Alex. Indeed, this is going to be so exciting. Everything lines up for this to be an incredible matchup. And already we've got the pistol rounds off started, and Navi looking to push that B-bomb site. And you know what? NRG, they've got a few players in position for the defense here, and there's not much utility to deny them.
A smoke, a flash, and a lot of players going through a choke point. Ethan starts well. There's a crossfire to deal with. Fuse doesn't know where the fires are coming from. 3 CTs here now. A Cirque's in the market, and this is a decimation. The wings are being pulled off the fly. Electronic, the last man standing, last man to fall. And that is a very solid pistol round from NRG. That is really, really nice indeed. Cirque and Ethan with perfect armor, which likely means both those players get M4A4s at the very beginning.
Yeah, I love that crossfire. What a strong crossfire to play with, and especially considering there was so much of a limitation in utility from Navi. They didn't really have too much to deal with that. You're really hoping that you get the numbers in and you can just trade and push forwards with position, but NRG were just so good in the opening shots that that could never happen. And it's more or less a full eco here from Navi. They've got a couple Deagles and a P250, but that's basically it. They'll go for the mid phase, which is not too uncommon. You know that the CTs might peek you, they might give you a duel, and then you get an opportunity to get a headshot in. And that might be some of your best chances to get the Deagles working without utility. And you can see it is being played out here, but not looking too good, is it, for Navi? Everybody's going down. These Deagles yet to do any damage, and now it's just Zeus, and he's got a Glock, and that's it. He has no teammates.
Yeah, this
no
is
hope and help.
This is bad for Navi because this is saying in 2 rounds they've got 1 kill. So the CT economy is as good as you could hope for from the NRG perspective, which is more money than they might otherwise have. Navi coming in with the bite. The Kriegs, 3 Kriegs bought so far, 4 Kriegs bought. Liking this Krieg priority. And Zeus may be on a Deagle. You can see he dropped a weapon or something for his team in the round prior. So a quartet of Kriegs. It's a scope party for Navi, but will it be enough? I think that's the smoke that goes deep into the apartment. It's not something you often see. Not 100% sure. Oh yeah, it is indeed. Landing perfectly. Combo with the Molotov, and that's going to be some really early map control for NRG. That's a rare smoke these days. And in the meantime, they're pushing ramp at the same time. They're
so active. Yeah, this is really cool to see because it's very disruptive to whatever Navi are doing. It's very likely that this can effectively punish a default. Because look, Flamey's here alone. He's going to be playing this corner, so it'll be hard to take the engagement. We'll have to see his status. Or goes for him. Flamey, he understands what's happening. That's such brilliant intuition from Flamey to pick up that kill, and NRG will be denied picking off one of the players on the extremity of the map. But Breeze is pushing Palace now. NRG super active in this round.
I love this no respect style. This is unbelievable from NRG. What we've seen in this 1 round, they have come into this prepared. So many pushes. Doesn't see Flamey just yet. Just about sees him now. Gets around the corner before Electronic makes his way towards T-Spawn to do something about it. This is a big problem for Navi. How do you call with all these pushes going on? How do you decide what to do on a T side? You're supposed to be the aggressors. Breeze is still waiting. The absolute liberties are being taken by NRG. They are making a statement in round 3 of this game.
Yeah, this is a style that Navi should be able to play with the like simple, like this puggy style where it's very much about these weird situations in the mid-round. Boomich might, actually catches up just moving out of position, but doesn't get the kill. Zeus with the Deagle, on the other hand, is going to open up things. We've got that B-bomb site under control by Navi. Although Cirque is close, again, he has 6 HP, so he can't really push and take the fight. He needs a teammate to play off of, and Boomish will take one of those teammates out. It really falls on Ethan here. And if you consider that Navi had 0 utility, 0 smokes.
0 position.
This is kind of incredible that they found their way into this position, but it is part and parcel in playing this very dynamic mid-round kind of a style where NRG themselves are moving all over the place. Things get really weird, and it looks like NRG will have to just save these 2 weapons.
I do not know how Navi managed to turn this round around. It started so well for NRG, so much confidence, and again, psychological warfare in round number 3. If they had won this round and if they'd won it convincingly, that would have been such a good spot for them. But somehow they've lost it. I don't even understand how. all that work around the A bomb site, the pushes from Breeze, the suggestion that he'd fallen back, but he hadn't. He's still there, takes Electronic out, but they've still somehow lost the round. But that's a credit to Navi again. It was a very, very rough game of Dust 2, as you heard from the thoughts of the analysts, from one game to the next. So maybe there are signs of promise. You're going to need to be heard if you want to help Navi get back into this series. So now the big buy is out for NRG. Cirque on the AWP. It's going to be a forward play from Ethan. And good with the setups. There's a flashbang from the A bomb site, but it's not good enough. Boomich rips Cirque's face off.
He was doing the flashbang dance at the same time and everything that hand as well, and truly over his eyes still nails that shot into Cirque. Now NRG are in a position where they themselves have very limited utility and they're down a man early. This is an awkward spot because sometimes you want to try to take the action away from the T's. The T's have this advantage. They can play the clock, they can get into position. You want to try to disrupt the setup that they're looking to get before they really cement it and then go for that attack where they have all the advantages to play with. So it's either that, and we see Ethan going for a flash play here with Tarek throwing that flash from Cat. We're trying to see what they can see in middle. Or you try to gamble and just try to stack towards a bomb site. That's two of the main responses to a situation like this if you're NRG. Navi are already slow rolling them at this point. It's two players in mid now finally starting to push. There's that smoke outside of the connector. And they start to go for the A split, slowly but surely.
Navi take the mid position. Haven't really committed to anything just yet, and they are really draining the utility of NRG. An incendiary through into connector, but to what effect ultimately? You can see in their own position now for the A split. Nobody in a short area, two-man rotation from the B bomb site, so Stanislaw has to deliver. So far so good, he takes two. Ethan tries to commit as well, can't do too much. Breezes at AWP, 25 seconds, a bomb drop. They're trying to trade, but it might not be too much. 1v1, Simple has to race. Does he know? He has no idea where Tarek is. He's in CT. There's only one place really, or 1.5 places for Simple to plant the bomb, and this is one of them, inviting the peek, but there is no peek just yet. Simple realizes, oh, he's not going to go deep enough actually. He's going to be completely exposed. Tarek peeks at a perfect time, and they're back.
NRG looking good. What a beautiful round from Stanislaw. Again, I have to say this, Stanislaw he's one of the coolest cucumbers you can possibly find in the professionals Counter-Strike. He just looks always so incredibly calm. He's got his position. 3 players are rushing him down, and he's so calm here. So incredibly calm, easily taking down 2 players, and that was obviously so pivotal, especially considering that Ethan couldn't get too much around connector. So here we go, back into it, and NRG's economy is not established yet, and Navi spent everything. They get the AWP onto Simple. This round is where Navi could really steal away the momentum. And they're going to be going towards the A bomb site with 4 players and Simple's in Palace with that AWP. We set it up, you know, rather I should say the analyst set it up on the desk. This is Simple's map. This is where Navi need him to have his best performance of the entire major, and he's been given a lot of responsibility.
You will notice most snipers who go into Palace at the beginning of a round, they'll scope in early. So once they make it to the end of Palace, they won't compromise their position by scoping in then. The element of surprise, so important in Counter-Strike, and Navi will look to take NRG by surprise on this approach towards the A bomb site. I like the angle from Breeze though. He's going to be very important in trying to do something. Navi pretty low on utility, looking for an entry. Now Simple's posts up, and again, there's no warning that there's a sniper in this position because he scoped in much earlier. He just creeps all the way with good timing. Smoke at the top of connector. Breeze is harassing. Boomich is in position. That draws Cirque's attention. He has to fear a boost as well. Breeze taking a lot of damage in that short area. 40 seconds, and Navi are going to be able to burst on this bomb site really quickly. Electronic falls, however. Stan has an angle to help his teammate. Cirque has been picked off finally by Simple on the rotation. Comes out wide from Palace, and there the trades continue. Man advantage now for Navi. Won't last too long as they plant the bomb on A.
But quickly, Breeze goes around from CT. There's the quick flashbang. Oh my God, Flamey defends it somehow. And that leaves everything on the shoulders of Tarek as he edges his way forwards from jungle, looking for that first frag, that first peek, that first player to punish as he now starts to check CT. Where he has to find one of these 2 players. He has to bait one of them out, and they must hear him. They know exactly where he is. He taps the bomb. He's trying to force that peek. He needs a frag sooner than later. It's starting to get very desperate. He doesn't have a smoke. He's going to throw the flashbang, trying to get somebody to peek, but they just won't do it. And finally, Flamey does it, and he hits the shot. 4K for Flamey, decimating the defense on this round. Great stuff from him, and Navi 2 against the 3, but more importantly, James, they've broken the money of NRG.
They have indeed. A really rough round. Navi looking a lot more prepared on Mirage versus Dust 2. And it seems the force buys will continue until somebody gets a consecutive round. That was a huge save from Flamey. It wasn't clear that Tarek had all the information in that situation because he was looking towards Palace when he first came through. NRG with a two-man push in the underpass position. Will it be checked for? Zew's got to be careful. There's a crossfire, he can bait off of his teammate. Electronic engaging, and it's taken care of. Zeus will fall, however, but that gun will not be retrieved. I'm sure it can be thrown over the wall, where you throw the smokes towards the window position. Navi will look to clear area, make sure there's no other shenanigans going on around that position. In the meantime, you can see the YouTube setup on the A ramp position. Cirque and Ethan, who's having a look at Palace for the time being. Maybe they'll push. They've got to do something. They've got to find an opening somewhere, NRG.
You know, NRG to be very dangerous indeed. In situations like this, there's plenty of time, and Navi aren't really in position just yet. They're fairly spread out. The bomb is collected and begins to make its way towards the B apartments. Stanislaw has been actually one of the most dangerous players, and he is the guy tasked with that B defense. And it looks like actually the bomb will be rotated out now towards middle, which is sensible, moving with the pack. With Molotov there towards the window to deny a peek as they make their way up catwalk, and a smoke as well to be as safe as possible. Ethan, fast timing on the flank. Actually, the timing for Ethan is going to be really, really good. Stan, he needed to survive longer than that and delay them, but Flamey, he is not messing around. It looks like he's been activated, James. He's come online.
Ethan picks up an MP9, and it seems it's an exit strategy now for NRG. One planted with 13 seconds on the clock. High ground is so important for the Ts and the CTs. Holding the bomb site, retaking the bomb site. That high ground is often key, but it will not be challenged on this occasion. NRG will simply try to pick up something, some bonus money, a better weapon, something along those lines. Ethan seems to be caught off guard there. So only Cirque now to save his Kevlar and a 5-7. So here is that consecutive round we were looking for, and it will go to Navi, which puts NRG's money in the bin. Their loss bonus is not spectacular, to say the least. Simple, not happy just yet, but perhaps it will come.
Yeah, I'm really curious what NRG's approaches will be in some of the future rounds. It's been really awesome to watch when they've been deciding to go aggressive because, for example, that one round we had like the A ramp push, then the Palace push, then it just pushes all over the place, and it's really fun to watch. But of course, we saw that in the chaos that did actually end up helping Navi. They ended up converting that 3v3, and that was quite a few rounds ago, and that's really set Navi up, it seems, to have some of these, well, to be in the position now where they have the momentum. So another save coming in for NRG, so they can have absolutely everything in the following rounds. And they will stack towards this B bomb site, this A bomb site, I should say, moving into the Palace with 3 players and looking to see if they can catch one off guard. But there's no one there. I think Flamey got some sound cues, though. You can see Electronic will post up to cover Flamey's flank as Flamey looks towards A ramp. So they have detected where most of NRG are.
Who would you have for GoTV picks in this game of Mirage, Dan? For me, it's got to be all eyes on Navi because it's up to them to have a performance in this series, which hasn't happened just yet.
Simple's the man that needs to really shine in this one. We need to see him hit his peak. We need to see him hit flow states.
I don't think just Simple's going to be enough, though. I think he's going to need the likes of Electronic, Boomich, and Flamey.
Well,
Pretty, you know.
He's been the only one that's not been kind of at the level that you want to see, that you'd expect. I feel like we have seen good stuff from Flamey for sure, which is always important. Flamey, this is one of Flamey's best maps as well.
Navi making the right choice, it seems, if they go for the B split once again. Don't want the clock to run down too much, though. Tarek with the Zeus will be taken up from the back, and that is the only person on the bomb site to be dealt with. We've got Ethan in the market position. 3 USPs and Cirque with his saved 5-7. Look to save some money. Speaking of 5-7, Zeus, again, given all the guns to his teammates, holding that high ground, Electronic creeping through, and we've got a battle of the 5-7s now, and maybe Cirque can try and keep people close to the bomb to make it a little more expensive for them. But again, he's got his Kevlar to hold on to. Any money that an AWPer can save is always going to be important for the long term.
Ooh. Little ring of the bell there from Cirque, but no more than that. About NRG's aggression, I think we're in a situation where they kind of have to play more aggressively here. They're playing against Navi, who have everything, and NRG are lacking utility, and they're lacking a sniper rifle, and there's only one kit, and it's on Ethan. So what do they do to mitigate the disadvantage they have?
Aggression, Dan. Ruthless aggression. Players moving up the mid position. Navi seem to have no idea. The flashbangs will favour somebody, but who? We got trades, we got Electronic hiding around the smoke. Comes out at the right time. There goes Breeze. Cirque's in a tight spot. And he's going to fall as well. 2 players remain for NRG. Make it 1. They have been annihilated in this mid position. 4 players alive for Navi as they look for Stanislaw. It will be Flamey keeping the A site honest. And Stan may be caught off guard. Simple rotating into B with the bomb eventually. Having a look through connector just in case. You can see Flamey continues to creep, and Stan will be able to take him out at the very least. Get himself an upgrade. See what he chooses to do, but Navi looks strong on Mirage.
Yeah, if he can save this creep, that would be a huge boon to the next round. It will be a save for NRG, but they can invest a little bit. If they can invest a little bit around a creep.
They haven't planted a bomb just yet. Simple was prioritizing holding the angle. His legs were showing at least on the X-ray, and I did wonder if Stan would try and get something done.
Well, they are spreading out pretty far away from the bomb right now. Stan can't know that.
He can't know that. It wouldn't make sense for him to make a play forward, although if he hears Electronic now, does that encourage him to go towards the bomb site? He hasn't got a kit.
Yeah. Maybe do some extra damage, make this a little bit spicy right at the end of the round. And there's Zeus, he spotted the back of one player. Which got, oh, that would have been a great pickup to take down Simple there. I don't think he would have been traded straight away, so it could have been a lot of economic damage, but instead everything goes away for NRG. They'll have to buy a few pistols here and be content with that. And Navi starting to establish some momentum here. And that looked really crushing for NRG, but we set it up. They didn't have the utility or a sniper rifle to really play a long drawn-out round, so they had to take the action to Navi. They did so in middle, and they got shut down.
Now they broke $2,000 to $3,000 for NRG. Not quite getting started on this game of Mirage just yet. 4 rounds in a row now for Navi. And let's not forget, NRG won the pistol, so it's basically a 5-1 scoreline in that respect. So a lot of strength for Navi at the moment. Attack pause from NRG won't last much longer. Hits 0, and we're back into the game. Some discussion as to how to turn things around in the round to come. And we've seen the CT aggression. They've come into this prepared NRG. They've got their setups. They've got the plays in the underpass, the plays towards top mid. But again, the variance with the flashbangs did not go their way. Went from bad to worse in that mid position, and the round was won and lost there. It was fought for and lost. So a Deagle, a P250, the odd grenade for NRG. Perhaps there is a burst play with a flashbang to be had. Navi are in anti-eco territory, which is still very dangerous, as we saw on Dust 2.
The flash, Beamish has been caught, but he's safe, it seems. Pistols won't commit too deep, and Beamish is going to hear all the stepping. Ethan and Breeze tasked with the lone Deagles on the team, and Stanislaw goes down. There's the next peek, but it's the third one to be good. Ethan with that Deagle providing the kill that was needed, but Electronic will trade him out. So now it's just down to Breeze to get some more damage with his Deagle, but he's a bit far away from the action right now. It will be on Tarek playing Ninja with that USP. Will the flame spread to him? It looks like he should be safe. And there it is. I was going to say, Simple should absolutely see him, and Breeze will rotate around. So again, looking for that headshot. Navi trying to find where Breeze is going to be attacking from. They know he's going to be looking for damage in a round like this. You know that the full buy comes in regardless. Breeze, can he steal away a weapon? Nice headshot. 3 players to go. Finds a smoke grenade as well. Is he looking for damage here? The economy's pretty crazy for Navi. It would be nice to get more frags, and he might find one. Playing around the smoke, Zeus gets the 1v1, and that's another round picked up by Navi, but now things get serious again. NRG with the full buy, James. They're going to pick up double orbs.
Indeed they are. Tarek, a dab hand with an AWP, will pick up the second one. We'll see what Navi have to offer. Double the score of their opponent, but it's still fairly close. It's early days here on Mirage, but it won't be early for too long, and it's time for NRG to wake up. Let's see where Tarek goes with the second AWP. Zeus with a smoke up on short. They can Molotov connector from behind it if they want to. Simple will be going towards top mid. There's a Molotov. He's got an AWP of his own to play with. Ethan and Cirque on either side of the smoke in that connector position now. Where Tarek is standing, you can throw, well, where he was before, you can throw a flashbang without being spotted. It goes out the window and compromises his position, but he's a bit more forward now. We've got a fast boost into the window. 1:27, but Boomic gave a sound cue away, and that might be heard by Cirque, who goes to have a look through the corner of the wall, straight through the face. Close casket funeral, goodbye.
That is not a bad shot to connect, Cirque. That is so important, and that's going to deny some more forward positioning from Navi.
If they didn't make a sound when they tried to boost, I wonder if Cirque would have ran back to peek in the first place.
Yeah, looking for that punish. He is successful. The utility's gone for NRG now, but they do have those double offs. They do have 5 players alive, and it's Navi that's, you know, it's on them to find a play. And they've been denied that forward positioning in middle, so all they have left there is Zeus to play the effectively just to cut off rotations. He's going to take down Breeze. That's a big 1v1 to win in middle. And in the meantime, Navi will set themselves up for an attack onto the A-bomb site.
Look at the response from Tarek. You just saw him edge forward with the AWP. He needs the information now. They've lost a man. He's choosing to go passive, or maybe realizing he's being baited anyway. We've got the grenades into the A-bomb site. There are 3 CTs here, although Stan could be isolated. Cirque moving forward will never leave those flames again. Stan's got to find multiple frags. He won't have any grenades coming his way just yet from his teammates, and he will die before they can get into position. Only a Molotov to offer anyway, in the likes of Ethan going through the smoke, which leaves Tarek alone. 8 seconds to plant the bomb. Can he find an angle? It's used around that default position. Simple planting. The bomb's down.
Tarek is in such a bad position. He knows where both players are now, though. Can he find the shots? With an AWP, no less, it's so difficult. Quick scopes are going to have to be real here for Tarek as he pushes forwards. Does have a kick, goes wide, but Simple gets the catch onto him. And that will be another round for Navi. And they are doing some serious damage now, James. NRG are struggling to find ways to take these rounds on their CT side.
$3,500. Once again, NRG's economy is in the bin. See, butt off Molotov from connector. Either side of default, can't plant the bomb. Then you can spray triple, and you got GG. But it wasn't there. There we go. Those are the flicks. So the flicks we saw Simple miss on the previous map on Dust 2, that infamous 1 round on long. I watched the Ron Rambo Kim's video about Simple and his aim and how he warms up, and those flicks are exactly, he trains for those. He trains for those flicks specifically. So to see him missing multiple flicks in that situation is quite scary stuff for Navi, but you see him deliver one there, and maybe he can continue in such a fashion. Again, it is poverty for NRG. He's got a forward play from Breeze, but now he's dead.
Yeah, again, we've seen a lot of rounds like this now for NRG, where we're looking for them with a couple of deagles to try to get some damage in, and they got information, they got forward positioning towards Palace. Got Ethan in there with the 5-7. They smoked off a ramp, and that's going to then lead them to decide to stack towards B. We'll see if they will get anything out of this. In comes Navi towards Catwalk. Will they commit towards that B-bomb site? Have Electronic in connector. He's no forward player towards A to maybe figure out that A is clear, but we'll see if that's the case here. One of the cool things about Ethan's position is that if he hears the bomb get planted, he might be able to do some sneaky stuff there.
With Stan staying in Palace, worst case scenario, with time low on the clock and a frag like that, he could peek out and stop the bomb from being planted, but he looks to be going into a flanking position towards the ramp, and maybe Palace would be obvious. You can see Navi wondering about the A-bomb site, so Stan's position is going to be very, very key. Navi can hear the rotations towards CT. They know time is of the essence, and again, you can see Flamey. He had the angle for Palace, so Stan probably would have died anyway, but he's coming up towards the ramp. He can run distraction with his teammates coming from CT. He's got to wait for them to hold focus. Flamey's in that sandwich position. You can see him spraying, moving back now, but he's not thinking about the ramp. He'll die from the CT position. They still might not know about Stan's area. He did fire a shot, but it is close comms to really clarify that. And there he is, Stan again, taking Simple out now. Navi are losing position of this bomb. Cirque in a 1 versus 2, trying to draw out more. He hasn't got a kit. Zeus got to be careful, taking some damage there. Cirque up high now. He won't defuse the bomb. Maybe it's time to try and save the rifle. And it is 8 rounds for Navi.
No kit, no chance. It's a good effort, good damage done, and that's going to be a great weapon to carry into the following round here for NRG. They need to start scraping together some rounds. It is getting worse and worse as Navi move to 8. NRG will have around $6,000 on pretty much everybody. And with Cirque saving that AK-47, he can drop that to a teammate, pick up an AWP. And I wonder if we'll see a very passive approach for NRG now. They've really tried to disrupt Navi's game plan by getting those kills, getting that pressure on very early, by taking forward positions away very early to punish defaults and so on, but it's not really panned out for them. So at this point, you may just expect them to play more passively and see if that change of pace will work out.
8 rounds for Navi. Double ops once again for NRG. It has now been 7 rounds in a row for Navi by elimination or detonation. That's just not a nice way to end your participation in a round, getting blasted by the rug shop, which is not even open, can't even buy a rug. Right, again, excluding the pistol, NRG have won 1 round out of 11. Out of 9, rather. Bumich makes his way towards the mid position. Cirque delivers a kill, but he might feel like he's stuck in the corner of that window. Tarek goes aggressive once again towards B bomb site. So many targets, hard to see through the flames, but he manages to escape. But can he get into a better position? Seems to be want to go towards Van again, but that's aborted. We've got Cirque here as well. Simple takes one in the face. 5 versus 2, 5 versus 1. This is a kind of round that NRG need. Victimization of Navi and surviving in the numbers. They will all survive. Only Tarek taking damage. That is exactly the round that NRG need. It is not too late to have a close score at halftime.
I gotta say, James, I think that was salvageable for Navi. I think when Tarek gets that first forward kill, Navi is still not committed to the push. And you've lost a man, and the CTs know exactly what's going on. So there is, it's very difficult to call an abort in spots like that. But you know, you got to credit NRG for just landing every single shot. Tarek was flawless, coming in as well to really save it. And Navi now, is this where things turn? Is this where the tide changes? As we get a very quick push into the A bomb site. Stan didn't look ready, but he still connects the headshot. But the trade is in just as quickly as Navi vie for forward positioning towards that A bomb site. They'll start to use their utility to smoke away the angles, to safely find a place to plant that bomb.
While all this was going on, Zeus went into the B apartment. Somehow Breeze was all the way through B apps and took him out. Bumich is dropped. There are gaps in the smoke, but there's a trade. Simple now with the AWP. Never mind, it's Flamey versus 3. He has the bomb. He has 1:20 on the clock. He has no grenades. How does he engage the AWP? He has no idea where the third player is. I don't know if the communication's there, that there are 2 in connector, but he's got to plant the bomb. His options are limited. The CTs know he can't go to CT. He can only be on the site, on the ramp, or in the palace.
So difficult, back against the wall, nowhere to go. Has to land every single shot. The grenades start to do their damage, and there's just absolutely nothing he can do. The round is taken out of his hands, but you have to ask the question, how was it that Navi were dying just planting the bomb after running their little set piece there, throwing in the utility? How is it that they were just getting annihilated trying to plant that bomb?
Yeah, it was planted for everywhere, one of the everywhere plants. I don't know if there was, it was through the corner of a smoke. There can be gaps there. But for whatever reason, here we are. NRG are clawing their way back into a reasonable score at halftime. There's still money for Navi. There'll be another full buy, though it will be without an AWP. Maybe favoring the rifles. You don't always necessarily have to have an AWP on the T side of Mirage. So this is not the worst thing in the world. Seeing some more aggression from NRG. That smoke up top. Simple will be creeping behind it, but he will be devoid of information. You see the Molotov in the corner, where that gap is. Navi have got a lot of players in the apartments at the moment, some moving towards the bottom of mid. Once again, there are 2 players for NRG in that connector area with very nice timing of the grenade. One to keep an eye on. Circa's repositioned now. 1:20 on the clock.
Well, Electronic already in that forward spawn. And he will hit the scoping from Tarek. So it's a very difficult position. He can try to go for a guess, but Tarek is going to have the advantage unless Tarek moves really close. But again, Electronic can't exactly know that. He's waiting in this position. It's a good off angle. He might be served up a free kill. We'll have to see if Tarek decides to move from this spot. He's on the gap. He's checking deep with that scope to see what he can see. And there it is. Electronic picks the perfect timing, unlocks that B bomb site. However, Breeze is still there towards connector, and Cirque rotates around the market position, and he's in position to defend the bomb site. Navi can't quite go for this, and Simple gets a pick in middle. That's going to allow them to go towards that A site.
Boomich is in jungle. They've got strong positions on A. They just need to get the bomb there. However, Stan has rotated towards CT already, and Breeze is going to be an issue. He's ahead of the Molotov. Flamey could get caught with a grenade in his hand. That's a huge frag from Flamey. 20 seconds, but Stan has taken the A bomb site. Simple is down. How do they plant the bomb in a situation? A flash easily avoided by Stan. Moving forward, there's no cover. Zeus hasn't got a gun out. There goes Flamey. 10 seconds now. 2 versus 2. That bomb plant is just not happening, is it? Or is it? Stan goes down. Cirque not in position. There might just be time.
Oh, then there is time. Time to plant the bomb, time to get the kills, and that looked like some hesitation from Stan there. It looked like initially he felt like there's no chance that they can recover the bomb in time. And then just as he repositioned, just as he jumped around the corner, he realized he made a mistake, that there was still time and that he had a better position if he would have just stayed in that spot behind the triple stack. And that indecision, James, in that moment, that cost them everything, or it cost them their best chance to secure that one. And now both teams spending all their money in this round. Navi looking to get that 10-5. NRG, can they find a way to deny that? Do have everything they want. Tarek going forward, but Simple's already there. Did he see it? I think he did. He knows where he is, on the corner, in the right side. Tarek saw it as well. Drops the smoke, forced to drop a smoke early. Not ideal for Tarek, but at least he doesn't lose his life.
The setup from Tarek in the previous round, where he had a teammate flash for him, reminded me of the pistol rounds from Cloud9 when Tarek was on the team. There was a really good example versus Ninjas in Pajamas of the pop flash plays. No connections either way. Crowd rousing for Navi now. 1 minute on the clock. A meaty grenade taken by Breeze. Now this is a Mihu-esque smoke on the short position. If you're in the corner of short and bounce your smoke off the corner of the door, it lands here. What you can do is look in the underpass. You can jump on the bricks as well and look over the top at top mid. There's a lot of funky things you can do with it. Don't see it often enough, but Navi seem poised to push the A-bomb site.
There's a forward setup here for NRG, which might be very difficult to stop. Stanislaw is close, but that flashbang goes for the preemptive peek for the flash, and it's not going to work out. Doesn't get a single kill. Down to Ethan now by default to do the damage. Cirque can't find a shot. Ethan, though, executes Boomich, looking for another, but he will be assassinated by Zeus. And now it's down to Tarek and Breeze. This is the last round. They have to go for it. Tarek looks for a timing as he creeps up behind the smoke. Breeze has found his way forwards and goes for the transfer. It's not going to work out. Down to Tarek now. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Great shot from Tarek. No punish from Electronic. Forced to go for the bomb plant. Tarek knows it. This is an opportunity. There's no fake. Now he knows. As Electronic tries to fall back, tries to hold the off angles, tries to catch Tarek, rounding the corner around triple. And Tarek waits to see if Electronic will make a play here as he throws the high flash. Trying to bait out Electronic. Doesn't know exactly where he is. Electronic might have the jump on this one, and he does! Electronic secures it. 10-5 for Navi at the end of the first half.
Navi are back. 14 for 9 Electronic. A landslide of rounds in the first half. Can they close it out and take it to a third? Find out after the break. And we're back. No, it's my turn, Dan.
I'm sorry.
It's me.
Sorry.
It's not your turn, it's my turn. What's up, Berlin? Who wants to see a third map? Come on, more people. Come on, come on, come on. I would love to see a third map. Looks like Navi are warming up, but they might not be hot just yet. Nuke would be the third. It would be the decider unless NRG can close it out here. They've got a lot of work to do. They're on the pistol. Ethan and Stan with the grenades. No P250s, as I love to see. We've got a decoy as well for Stan, and sometimes decoys can be useful as a fake flash or something along those lines, but Zeus is getting very aggressive, and surely he's been heard. So many footsteps, but Boomich is here to deliver.
That's a good opening kill. He'll at least lighten the push into that B-bomb side, but it's just going to be Electronic who's there. He's not looking confident to go through the market just yet. Holding back, and Simple's going to go down. Ethan finds a shot through the smoke, and now Electronic and Flamey are in a very bad position because NRG can just take the run of the map. They've got positioning towards A. They're going to go for that. It's more guaranteed. Flamey takes one straight to the face at distance by Ticket, looking for some clean shots here, but it's nothing that he can find. And Electronic needs a quad kill, a clutch, but he's absolutely denied. And that's good to see for Ethan's sake. James, he had 3 kills in the first half, and now he's got 3 kills in the first round of the second half. So
welcome back to
there you
Ethan.
go. He's doubled his score.
Really nice. So that gets the cheap helmet after the round. It was your turn, by the way, Dad. I'm sorry. I wasn't lying. I made a mistake. 4 rounds for Navi to consider their options to try and thwart NRG from a comeback. And it will be a force buy in this round from Navi. We've got Simple with the Scout. That's something we love to see. Go-TV pick for this round would be Simple. The moving speed of the Scout is just so nice, it's refreshing. The flicks can be quite solid. I was wondering if he's looking for a timing pick or timing attempt through the smoke, but he does not reveal his weapon just yet. Now, I think with the smoke and connector NRG, that will be enough information to realize that it is indeed a force buy. Question is, how do they choose to deal with it? Wherever they choose to go, they've got 1 Molotov at this point, NRG. So we might just see some carnage.
And the late mid-take comes in, and it will be empty as far as they can see so far. Navi with a couple smokes here to delay things even further for NRG. We've seen how many problems there are if you run out of time on a round like this and are forced to just push stuff without being able to check stuff correctly. And they just have to wait that one out.
Well, they've got to wait a lot out. If the CTs can get positioned, Boomich is on short with another smoke. He could smoke this position. It's going to be one actually thrown by Zeus. They'll try and hold on to the short area rather than re-smoke the connector position. They don't have any success there. Boomich somehow sneaks his way into the ladder room. And there are the tags from Simple. He can have another go. They've got to be really careful on his push NRG. Simple seems to be aware of a potential Palace push. Flamey's on the ramp though, but he can't. He will stop the bomb from getting planted. And Breeze is in the red as well. He's walking into a crossfire, but there are a flurry of frags from NRG, and all of a sudden, Flamey's the last man standing. But we've still got players in the red for NRG. 1 versus 2. The small damage has been done. Big damage required now. The last 2 players won't happen, and it's another round in the bag for NRG.
That was getting so scary. Flamey just popping people off. That's insane. Oh my God. Well, it is controlled at the end, but they lost quite a lot of money that maybe they shouldn't have. But that's what happens when you've got players on the server that are this good. We'll get the 4-buy coming out from NRG. There will be some concessions, a UMP for Stanislaw. It's not what you want to see, but that's okay, because they're against a full save. And Flamey's left a lot in the bank there, $3,400 for him, and that's because Simple spent quite a lot. He needs that AWP in the next round, so see if they can get that on him. And Navi go for the B stack. NRG taking things slow. Breeze will find Zeus in middle. Just a deagle on Simple and a P250 on Boomich and Electronic. That's all the firepower that really exists in this round for Navi. If they could get a couple kills, I think they'll be very happy with that, James.
Hot flash in the underpass. I think it was NIP who used to throw HE grenades down there on occasion. And also, from a CT perspective, over a ramp towards where you might throw smoke grenades from. Don't see them throwing any more though. For people at home and people in the arena, send us pictures of how you are watching this major. Your setups at home, selfies with your mates, get the beers in. It is Germany after all. 50 seconds on the clock, and NRG seem to have avoided the stack of the B-bomb site. Cirque rotating the bomb towards A. Tarek and Stan making their way through connector. It's all nice and quiet, plenty of utility. but the element of surprise is so important. So they won't telegraph their positions by throwing the usual smokes and flashes. They will use guns instead. So it's a lot harder to respond to if you don't have those sound cues.
All right, well, there it is. And the bomb is going to go off in about 40 seconds, and there's nothing Navi can do about it. But perhaps they can get a kill if NRG was to try to hunt. And that's the thing here, is that there's no incentive really for NRG to hunt. All they risk is, you know, a full buy, a player with a full buy, with all that, you know, maybe like $4,000 to $5,000 of equipment, and to do what? You know, to take down players. You have no Kevlar, you have maybe a P250. So it's just not worth it. The maths don't really add up in that sense. Stan, who has a UMP though, will make a forward play. Perhaps he can get some bonuses on some players who might be in some positions that are easy to deal with. But there you go. Bomb will go off, and it looks like everyone for Navi, almost everyone will survive. Actually, Boomich, almost got a kill there. I can see on my screen right at the end, but there it is. So 10 rounds for Navi, 8 rounds for NRG. That's where we're at. And NRG are looking good here, James, to equalize. If they can convert this round where Navi are going for their full buy, we're going to have a really close scoreline.
Will this guy absolve me of my sins if I go and solo to him? 2-round lead for Navi now. Both teams on the buy. We've got some grenades towards the mid position and some bodies from NRG. Simple, considering his options. That's a high smoke grenade, which could suggest a split of the A bomb site, but there is of the B bomb site, excuse me. There is a T smoke up on the short position as well. Simple's found a gap. He's fishing for something. He's looking for an opportunity. He won't get anything. He won't outstay his welcome. Having a look towards Palace. No one there just yet. Ethan is towards the ramp, however, with 4 players in mid for NRG.
And I'm wondering if they'll try to get a flash in for Simple to get a peek in here. Simple also has a flash, but there, okay, we got the responsible stuff there from NRG, smoking up that window position. It can be very dangerous to deal with, and instead Navi will be forced to go around towards Connector, and there's Cirque, and the flashbang is going to brutalize Navi's defense. They are going to be sent tail between legs, or perhaps all the way to the B bomb site, perhaps all the way to a save change, because they have no utility and they have no position and they have no right to challenge for this round at this point, as we'll see NRG comfortably sitting with 5 players alive on the bomb site.
Nobody likes to be told it's over, but this round certainly is. Navi have to hold on to what they can. Maybe some memories of the first map going their way. Again, if you are just joining us, it is 1-0. A convincing 1-0 in the first map to NRG. A lot of questions as to the plays from Navi on the desk. But here on a second map, things are looking more promising, but the score is getting closer. NRG will be building some money now, so when Navi do pull around back, there'll be so much pressure from NRG. Navi haven't won a round in this half just yet. We didn't see many rounds won in the first half from a CT side, and maybe it'll be the same. Are you going to just cover your girlfriend's face with a sign, dude? That's BM. It's kind of rude. All right, Navi, $3,500 on average. They've got a rifle here and there. It's a tactical timeout from Navi. There we go.
Yeah, I'm curious what the options will be like here for them. They may try to go for an approach like we saw NRG go for on their CT side, although it didn't really work out too well for NRG, where you try to be very disruptive at the early phase of the round. So in the setup portion of a T side, you're looking to take down a player. You're looking to cut off certain areas of the map where that T game plan is built up around to kind of cause chaos and to really throw the T side into a mid-round situation where you perhaps maybe even have the advantage in certain cases if you manage to get the kills. And that might be the play here for Navi, but considering that they only have 3 rifles here and a lot of utility, they may opt to play quite passively and just try to spring on NRG. It is denied for NRG at the early portions of this round. NRG is spread out towards the apartments and a ramp and Palace as well. So looking to play a slow rounds, try to get some information as to what Navi are up to. And Navi have dumped all their utility right at the beginning of the round here, James.
5 smokes were up at the same time a second ago. 4 smokes remain, 3 of which are with NRG. So with the map control they have, Cirque passive towards top mid, 2 players in the apartments, Ethan on the ramp and Stan on the palace. The initial goal of NRG is to look for any pushes from Navi, and with 3 rifles and 2 pistols and not the whole world of utility, you would expect the CTs to try and make some kind of aggressive play, but maybe Navi know that they are expected to do that, so they won't do anything too crazy. But we've got a very deep smoke grenade being thrown on the B bomb site from Zeus, who has one of the 3 rifles. Boomich still with some presence in the mid position, but NRG have rotated 4 of their players towards A. That timing is absolutely perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great way to start, and maybe that gives them a clue as to what's happening. 4 Navi players rotate in. Flamey's here close behind default. Boomich picks up another one. Now NRG are in trouble. Boomich absolutely decimating absolutely everyone. What a play from him. That is amazing. Picks up that first one through the smoke, swings through towards bench, and cuts down the push before it can even get started. That is what you need to see for Navi. And James, they had nothing. They had They had
3 rifles. That is a lot more than nothing.
And a handful of grenades. They didn't have an AWP. They did not have a full buy.
They do now, though. They take the AWP away from the previous round. 2 players with pistols, pick up some rifles, and their buy gets a lot stronger. Not losing a single player. That is, well, it's perfect. NRG offering a fast round towards the A bomb site. There's a deep HE there, which will do some nice damage. Flamey trying to fall back. So many flashbangs stuck just behind the triple position, waiting for somebody to move forward. This can catch players off guard. Out he comes. Tarek, though, will hold things down. And Navi are back where they started with 3 rifles once again.
They might be able to go for this one, though. We'll see Simple's in the forward position. He's going to actually get out of the connector. It's a little bit hot over by connector. 3 Ts are in that vicinity as Freeze goes in to try to cut off the rotation out of middle and try to do more economic damage. But it looks like Navi might be able to keep these players all alive here. Zeus is perhaps at most at risk at this point, but he also is in a fairly good position to move towards market safely. And indeed, for now, Navi will keep all these 3 alive. Okay, well, I spoke too soon. Zeus goes back to the market and he gets punished for it as Boomers tries to hold towards T spawn.
This is a problem. Once again, let's not forget, Navi have won 1 round in this half, and the round they win is where they have 3 pistols and NRG essentially push into a stack. So outside of that, which you cannot expect to replicate, we need to look at these buy versus buys, and they're not quite working out. NRG just turning the knife in the side of Navi, a fast play into the A bomb site, abusing the numbers advantage before Navi can really even just post up in that round. However, Navi able to buy around what they had thanks to that eco round. So it's buy versus buy once again.
Yeah, that A fast A contact is so strong sometimes, but maybe no time to go into that because we get a round towards B that's just as quick. They have to wade through all the grenade damage, and it might be too much to handle. Breeze with an important kill onto Boomich, but the problem is that they're not out of the apartments just yet. Simple taking down player after player, and now it's down to Tarek against 3. Has to find a way to deal with Simple, but they are locked away in the market position. Tarek, if he can make a forward play here, maybe that's it. Takes down Electronic, quick flashbang through the window, trying to get some information, trying to get another player down. And he knows that actually he's pushed them all the way back in market. He's created so much space for himself in this 1 versus 2.
Unbelievable effort from Tarek already. The area he's just forced away from the CTs is ridiculous. Now, where is he? That's the question. We see a rotation from Simple, creeping on shot, but he's missed his shot. 1v1. He doesn't know where Flamey is, but he may soon find out. Straight into the crosshairs. Tarek with a nuclear clutch, and the score is tied.
Big round from the man, Tarek. Again, I just cannot emphasize enough how amazing it is that he managed to create so much space. He's against 3 players. They're all in the market. He finds 1 pick. He uses his utility to force back the other players. He clears that. He gets that information as well with his swing, and then he just knows exactly how to play it, how to peek it, and how to clutch it. NRG, what a pivotal moment for them. They've almost broken the money of Navi. They need to just get one more big buy. Of course, Navi have that big loss bonus working in their favor, but NRG, around like that, winning around like that, it really raises the spirits and it lights everybody's energy on fire. They're going to be hard to deal with in these coming rounds as they take the tactical, actually, NRG, even though Navi were the ones to be on the receiving end of that clutch.
Just imagine the thumbnail that's going to go along with that highlight for Tarek on his YouTube account. Eyeballs going to be all over the place.
That was something special from Tarek.
It's a rousing clutch from Tarek. It's a rousing clutch. It's what they need when they've got so much opportunity to take it in 2. Once again, both teams are somehow on the buy. Breeze has got a Mac 10. Only one player doesn't have a helmet, but that moving accuracy can be enough. The drive-bys, the two-pack and biggie weapon. Stanislaw gets taken out by Simple, and maybe it's his turn to deliver now. Lovely frick from Simple. Simple and Electronic, that's the duo you want activated here on Mirage. Zeus falls on the B bomb site, being victimized by what remains of NRG. Tarek dropping off, Cirque staying on the high ground as they try to defend B.
And this is a problem, it's a 2 versus 4. Simple started it off so well, but very good call to get straight into B. They had a timing window in the 2v1 and they took it. And now Cirque and Tarek are the ones left in this 2v1. They've got time, they've got post-plant positions. Navi will be coming in from pretty much everywhere. Tarek will find that out the hard way, taking some damage there. Down to 46, Cirque with a fantastic response. Knows one is in the Apartments. Running distraction. Cirque though, he is no fool. Picks up another kill, but it's all on him. A 1 versus 4. Cirque with 3. 1 more to go as Flamey makes his way forwards, and Cirque knows exactly where he is. There goes the flick. He can't land it. It's almost there, but Flamey takes the kill. But the time, James, there's no time, and he's going to fall back, and Cirque has done it. That is outrageous. How are NRG pulling these rounds back? I can't imagine the dent that will do to the morale of Navi.
NRG cannot be stopped on Mirage. Whether they go A, whether they go B, they victimize Navi time and time again. Still, the only round Navi have won in this half is the round with 3 rifles with an A stack. That's it. That's the only highlight they've had. Cirque 21 for 12 at the moment, and he's looking for more. He's hungry for more. He's got a Krieg on this occasion, of course. He did die after winning, well, before winning the round, or I guess during. Anyway, NRG posted up now on the A bomb site. They're keeping it extremely simple, not doing it overly complicated. Just bursting from site to site. Minimal time for Navi to respond.
Yeah, keeping that presence really high here towards that A bomb site. Lots of grenades going in, making it really difficult here for the CT side to hold on. It's going to be a huge challenge to get back into this bomb site. They do have retake utility. Boomich with a forward position. They haven't spotted him just yet, but Stan turns around in time, deals a Boomich, and now there's 3 for Navi coming back in for the retake.
You start to wonder if it's the end of the line for Navi. 3v3 with, they've got a diffuse kit on Zeus, who's in that short position. They seem to be considering it, but surely that is the big red button. They've got to cancel. They don't have position. They're limited on time. They've got to hold on to what they can. And once again, NRG will expect an aggressive play in the next round. They know Simple's alive. They know there's an AWP. And they know they're 3 rounds away from victory.
NRG are really stepping up here. It's so good to see in a playoff format, and they are pushing Navi to the limits. Navi need to find something. Navi's economy not in the best place in the world, but because of the loss bonus, of course, they are able to get the buys in, and the AWPs will continue for Simple, which is perhaps one of the most important things, of course, for their success on Mirage. And NRG, I feel like, James, they're entering this territory where it doesn't feel like you can make any wrong move. Everything that your intuition is telling you is exactly what you need to do to win. They can move forwards throughout the map with so much fluidity, with so much confidence.
In terms of form, they might just be the best team at the major right now.
It is crazy, isn't it? Cirque is 22 for 12 right now. He is having quite the game. And Tarek as well, 18 for 14. They're doing some damage.
Yeah, but let's not forget, Navi were looking strong earlier. And there's only 2 rounds between the teams. That said, Navi have won 1 round in this half. And the half is almost over. And if the half is over soon, they may not have any more halves to play in this major. Simple on AWP, the only one on server for this particular round. Waiting. And again, NRG may be looking for an aggressive play. They will, for the most part, keep things honest, and that's a great response from Zeus. About time he inflicted some pain on his opponent in this position.
And that does make things a little bit easier, but of course, so much more work to be done. Again, you know, NRG have shown now time and again that they are really confident in these clutches when they're down a player or 2. They still manage to find a way back into the rounds, and they have middle, or at least they're working on full middle control. Of course, they need to get connector or shorts, and they are working on that connector control now. We get the deep Connector smoke, that is the must-learn smoke if you are going to be smoking that position as a T player. So you can take it over, and we'll see Ethan moving forwards there into position. And simple is key here. The one thing that blows up a play like this, push through connector, is the AWPer from Ticket.
They're going to be low on flashbangs, but a high on rifles. Flamey delivering from default. Simple has nothing working for him right now. Flamey so key on default. Doesn't know where Stanislaw is just now. The bomb's on the floor. The rotation's coming in, and the time is low for Stan. He sees the shadow. He's looking for the trade fraggers. There's one of them. He can't find anything. He finds something now. 20 seconds. He can still do this. Rotating around default, but Flamey is not shy. He's not afraid. And now it's 12 to 13. You can see how badly Simple wants this. You can see the fist pumps.
That's so mad. I feel like if Stanislaw doesn't have so much time pressure, I feel like he gets that kill on default. You can see he was waiting for the peak, but eventually his hand is forced. He gets the nade out, and that's the moment where the big peak comes, where Flamey would have gone down immediately, and maybe everything would have been different. But Navi, they needed that so badly. That round came at a key moment. Flamey is playing really well here for them, and it's going to be really crazy to see if they can find a way to bring this one back. Spending all their money once again, as is NRG. All the money's been thrown into the middle of the table here for this round as Flamey goes close on the A ramp, and we'll get another fast-moving round here. The setup with Electronic as well. Trade comes in, but it will favor NRG as they push forwards. Will Simple go ahead of this smoke? He's flashed off. Surely he can't go forwards, but Simple finds a way. But there is the trade, just as quick from Cirque.
No molly by the bench. He gets one kill. He's traded. Man advantage for NRG. Plenty of time. And the bomb's going down. It's getting planted while the smoke's dropped. Very, very key. Also key, Boomich is in T-spawn. And Tarek is too deep in mid to hear this. But now Boomich is alone. Cirque makes his way towards the ramp. The calls for NRG rise as they likely move to 14. Boomich has a kit. How much focus will there be for NRG? Does he consider going for it? Tarek's far away. The only person holding an angle is Ethan at the moment. And there is no challenge. You do wonder if the AWP is being saved. Ethan taken out. However, there is a player on the ramp who can stop this. The smoke doesn't go down fast enough. It's too late to defuse the bomb. Surely he will be denied. Cirque with the final frag. 14 to 12 NRG.
Right now, you know, the script really feels like there's just nothing that can stop NRG. Their momentum is really, really difficult to deal with. They are running over at Navi like they are a tank, and this is a problem. Navi struggling to stop the brute force approach from NRG. What will it take for Navi to come back into this? I suppose this tactical pause is going to be the moment in which they try to figure out what that solution might look like. As we have just a moment to breathe, and NRG. This has been such an impressive performance so far, and they've been playing the pace game really well. A good mix of slow and fast, really trying to throw Navi off their defensive timings. We're back into it. The freeze time has begun.
Again, it is maximum loss bonus for Navi. So some of them will pick up a lot. Simple's brought down to $400. Boomich 1,000. Maybe Zeus drops an AWP in the next round. It's a calculated risk from Navi. They're playing 1.5 rounds. Maybe there's opportunity for them. They've had some success putting players in the right place in terms of stacks and so on. We've got a nice position with the Deagle for Flamey, if he can hold it. Simple and Boomich, though, will be important with the rifles, and Boomich has made that forward play. These are the plays that NRG were looking for in previous rounds. Perhaps they've lost focus, though, not having it here. Look at the rotation. And again, there may be some sound cues that, I don't know if Simple or Zeus could hear that. Boomich now makes his way towards the underpass, and he finds a frag onto Tarek. Now, where does he go? Do NRG spend time trying to find his position and raising questions again for Navi?
Well, that's the thing too, you know, does that mean that the B defense is really light? But whatever it means, Stanislaw will find a frag onto Zeus, and Zeus is normally the B defender. Like, what does that tell them? As we've got Simple rotating into the market away from the B bomb site, because Boomich's position is so deep, and here comes the bomb!
No,
Ethan!
surely not!
And that's the bomb down in the hands of Boomich. He's taking some damage. Oh, he pushes forward, finds Cirque. And Cirque is going to take him down. And oh no, not like this. Navi had so many things to play with in this round, but NRG, they just have an answer for absolutely everything.
Zerk has picked up the bomb and he's rotating it through the apartments. Electronic won't find a bomb, but he might find a rifle, and he would find a high ground advantage. As you can see, Zerk jumping out of the window rather than throwing the bomb for a teammate. So there's no one in the apps for NRG, so maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for Navi, but Electronic actually not going through the apartments, maybe looking to hold on to the rifle. They need this money at this point. Perhaps it's too late to risk anything further based on what they have. There we go. So the M4A4 and the Galil could be used in the next round. Again, it was half a buy from Navi, a calculated risk, and this will certainly help them have a better buy in the next round. But with a flank from Boomich in the apartments, Ethan going into the apartments alone with the bomb seems to be madness.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's such a fun position that Boomich put himself in, and I really felt like they had so much to play with there. But you can see he was worried about them knowing exactly where he was. He wanted a more forward position. He had to take a risk, and unfortunately, Zerk, it's just lethal precision. The reaction time was phenomenal, and that's it. Match point here for NRG, 15-12. Navi facing elimination here at the Berlin Major, and this is going to take something special. At least they're in a 4-buy, James. At least they have everything to throw at NRG in this round to try to keep themselves alive.
If you want to support your team, then now is the time to make some noise. This might be the last round for Navi, or maybe there's more fight in them. Simples on the AWP once again. They've had mixed results, and they've mostly gone the way of NRG. NRG will start with some presence towards top mid. Breeze and Zerk behind the boxes. Tariq having a look towards the apartments. And Palace has been smoked off. Again, NRG keeping the CTs honest. They've got everything covered more or less. Tariq's doing 2 jobs, but they've got Ethan and Palace. They've got Stan on the ramp. Tariq making sure there's no forward position. A luxury afforded to Navi in the round prior. But being all spread out means that there's no fast boost into the window, which they have had success with in different rounds as well.
And NRG just running their default like this, they would really punish Navi if Navi was to make any aggressive plays anywhere. And for Navi, it starts to get a little bit worrisome because you've expended all your utility. There's very little utility remaining. They've got no flashbangs left. They've got 2 incendiaries and an HE grenade. That's it. And as far as they know, there could be a set piece coming. So that's a problem, because that means they have to live and die by the bomb site defense. That retake becomes incredibly hard with no utility. And this is it. Everything's on the line. You got Simple there, peering into the connected position. Electronic gets the spot, and Zerk misses the shot. Simple connects as well. And all of a sudden, Navi start to knock them down like pins at a bowling alley, and it's just Ethan left to try to do something. But they know where he is. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide here for Ethan as he tries to make something happen of this terrible situation. And Navi bring it back 13-15. They stay alive for at least one more.
It might be more than one more, Dan, because the money for NRG is in a really difficult spot. Breeze has got 1,400. Stan with not much more. And it looks like it's going to be a force buy. It's going to be a force buy from NRG.
Oh
they are only 2 rounds ahead. They've got a MAC-10 and a bunch of crap around an AWP at 15-13. They've got to use their bodies. They've got to put everything on the line. Someone's got to take a bullet for the president, and it might be Tariq with a forward position. There could be flashbangs over the top. We've got Stan creeping in mid with a P250. A big grenade taken by Tariq. They're continuing to press forwards. There are only 2 CTs here. Boomich caught with a grenade in his hand, but he can still find some frags. Can he cover his teammate? He can. They've got 3 kills so far. Zerk and Stan, they could still do this though. But they've got to deliver these kills due to the pre-fire. And now Stan is alone. 1 versus 4. Navi are still in this game. The force buy is ruined.
Oh my God. I think we've got to be going to overtime here. NRG have nothing in the back. They needed a bomb plant to have still a terrible force buy. Right now, all they're sitting on is about $2,000 per player. If they would have got that bomb down, they would have had just less than 3,000, which is pistols, full armor, and full nades. But now, I mean, they're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices to have utility. This is a huge problem. Navi may have just done enough. Boomich, I cannot believe he was so calm. When the player just swing in front of his face, he had no idea. Navi, I think we're going to overtime here, James. It would take a catastrophe for that not to be the case.
What a wild round. That was, in terms of equipment, that was awful. NRG had 2 chances to win 1 round to take this match. They chose the force buy, they chose the junk, and they failed. And now they're left with even worse. They did rush with an AWP, which is an interesting one. But
I mean, Zerk missed 2 shots. He had two free shots too.
but maybe there's time for that later. For now, we've got some pistols. Could have been 2 Galils or something, but I mean, Cirque is really hot at the moment. But maybe he won't be with a Tech 9.
It's not over just yet. Simple will be forced back just for a moment by the flashbang, but he's very happy to repeat this one, and he's going to pick up a kill because of it. Electronic with the spray, with the AK, and he has to fall back. He doesn't find a frag, but gets damage, and they see exactly what's going on. Simple will find Breeze in the window, and he will remove him. He is not allowed there, and now Simple will look for the next peak, finds Cirque. And you can see that NRG, James, they put everything on getting frags in middle, and it's just even that's picked one up. Navi are looking at very strong here. I can't quite see exactly how NRG could find something in this round now at this point. Ethan's only got 14 points of health. Does have the bomb, though, as he pushes towards the stairs. And Cirque has the AK, but he's around underpass at the moment.
I think he's in the short position.
Is he short?
From what I can tell, yeah, he's in the ladder
short,
in.
okay.
From that frag earlier on, Ethan trying to play against the rotation, but now the bomb has been lost. 40 seconds. Cirque is position unknown for the time being. We've got to push in B apartment, so the unknown position, the options for that are getting smaller and smaller. So Yusuf makes his way through the underpass. Cirque has 30 seconds to collect the bomb or win by elimination. This could hardly be worse. Boomic is surely in the strongest position, but Simple will be spotted first. It's got to be a free kill for Boomic now. There's no way Cirque can do this, and we're going to overtime. Navi have fought back. Somehow they have brought this back. A horrific second half where they barely won rounds, but they're still here.
It's absolutely insane if you think about it. The story really felt like it was a struggle the entire way. It didn't look like they could do it. We had so many moments from NRG that made them look too strong to handle, too hot for this one for Navi. We had those clutches from Tarek, the clutch from Cirque right after that as well. It felt like that had to be the breaking point. But Navi held on, and you know what? That just showed.
They know Cirque was in Palace, but he's rotated, and now it's down to Zeus. He is in a sandwich. He doesn't know it just yet. Looking at a bomb as he falls to the floor. The first round goes to NRG.
Into the next round, it is a horrible position to be in. I'm sure every ounce of them really wants to go for it, but you know, the rational mind says you've got to go for the safer, and that's what they're going to go for in this position. NRG threatening that 3-0 at the opening of overtime, and that's really important, I think, you know, because Navi really started to steal the game away, of course, towards the end of regulation, and NRG are proving that they didn't get such a lead by any mistake or anything but just stellar Counter-Strike, and that's what they're showing us here.
Making very, very sure that bomb's not being defused. At this point, doesn't matter if they die. Secure the round at all costs. And that is 2 from 2. And all those players see those flames surrounding them. But those flames for Navi mean another round lost, another chance gone. Less money in the bag to try and defend Mirage. Last round of the first half of overtime, and we've got the MP9s coming out, the French guns. Simple still has an AWP, importantly, but will he be able to use it? NRG haven't been shy of a fast round towards A and or B, a burst, an abuse of the numbers game, but they'll start in mid for the most part.
looking for that default, looking for that control, but quick damage to Stan is traded with Flamey. There you go. Navi, that's what they need to see, the early advantage out of the frag. They don't have to keep committing, they got the kill, and that's what they were here for.
Breeze very close to that connector position. There's a smoke from the short area. And NRG may have to wait for control of connector unless they choose to force the issue. 5 versus 4 in favor of Navi. Once again, Zeus is deep in the B apartments. There's a smoke up at the moment, but that might have something to do with the remainder of this round. There's a bait setup. You can see Boomich looking to engage. Doesn't quite work out. Tarek is low, but will he check for Zeus's position? That frag has actually brought Simple into the B bomb site. But the bomb is still in mid, and with that smoke up, as you can see on the radar, they're going to be moving in for a split of the B bomb site. And Simple's in position. Free frag for Zeus. Great angle for Simple. Needs one more. Cirque will not be doing anything in this round. And finally, Simple's turned up. Finally, he's landing the flicks. But is it too late? They stopped the 3-0. That's really crucial. You can see the pressure on the coach. This is really tight. It's supposed to be their map, but they are still behind as they move to the T side. Here are the snipers. This has been a great game for Cirque. But it's not over just yet. Simple with 22 frags of the AWP. And we don't have to wait long to see if it will continue. NRG going all in the first round. 2 AWPs. We call it all in because if they lose that round and the round afterwards, the map becomes basically indefensible with the money they have left over. So it's a high risk. We'll see if there is a reward. Cirque and Tarek with the AWPs once again. Simple and Boomich starting towards mid. There are flashbangs from the A-bomb site. Cirque in connector, looking over the smoke. Nothing doing just yet, and Navi will have big presence now in apartments, but there's no shyness in Ethan. Having a look towards the ramp, not seeing much just yet.
Slow push for underboss, and the late appearance from Simple with the AWP in top mid. Gonna mix up those approaches and how you take middle, keep the CTs guessing, but they have that forward set up towards the A ramp, so they're happy to play passively in this spot. And the key thing is that they have Cirque around ticket. You know, we've mentioned it a few times. It's one of the most important ways that you can defend the pushes through connector. You can see him with so much elevation there. Boost into the window. This could be really strong. They're going to boost 2 into the window. This is very interesting here for Navi.
I do wonder if we're going to see a rotation from NRG. Tarek is currently playing the pixel gap towards the B bomb site, so he's got reasonable information through the B apartments, but he's just dropped off actually to throw a smoke grenade on short for his teammate, but he may feel confident enough to go straight back to his angle, and indeed he's done exactly that. So as Breeze start to rotate now, NRG are in very forward position. Simple knows all the angles though, and that is a cue to burst onto the A-bomb site.
Only 20 seconds to plant the bomb. They have to get every single kill in quick succession. Ethan, he could do something about this. That's the bomb on the ground. Ethan with great spray, almost finds himself a third, but a beautiful shot from Simple saves it. But he's got to be careful here because is there going to be a push through connector? He's so exposed. I can't believe he's doing this. Falls back, manages to stay alive for just long enough, but Tarek comes in, takes him out, leaves Electronic in the clutch, in the 1 versus 2. They have no idea where he is. 3-1 for Electronic. Now they know, but Tarek has an AWP. Can he find a way? If he goes on the bench, he might find the elevation. Electronic has to stay crouched here. He's got to be so careful in where Tarek actually positions with that AWP, and he finds it! Tarek finds it, and he has time without the kit to get the defuse. Oh my God. James, the audacity to go for that plant from Simple with no cover. I just cannot believe he went for that.
That was terrifying to watch, but the king of content prevails. Tarek takes NRG to another match point. They've got 2 of them now. NRG with a full buy, need 1 round from 2. No more MAC-10s, no CZs or other nonsense. They will come into this round with the 1 AWP, but maybe that will be enough. Tactical timeout from Navi. They cannot fail. The margin for error is 0. It is 0. They've got to take 2 from 2 to force a second overtime.
What's hard to imagine as well is that imagine that Simple doesn't get that pick in that last round. They had such little time at the point in which he made that pick. Like, you know, what was the plan? You know, when were they going to actually go for it? So it looks like, you know, they were struggling to find a way in against that very passive play style of NRG, which might actually encourage NRG to play like that in the coming round here as well, as Navi did struggle with that approach. But we will see, time will tell. Either way, at least Navi have a good buy, as do NRG. Breeze straight into the underpass here for fast aggression. He's going to hear a lot of steps.
It's so important not to be afraid to play your game, even when you've got advantages, and NRG have demonstrated that round after round after round. Not just Breeze, but Tarek. They want to win the round in B apartments, it seems. Shades of threat level NIP, CT side splitting the B apartments. But it might not work out for them. Breeze has been lost. Navi with the bomb moving towards the mid position. Ethan is going to re-aggress. I love it.
Navi, they are rotating out there. Ethan will find out perhaps soon enough, but Zeus is making a lot of noise, and that might convince them that something's going on here. Picks up the kill on Zeus, but they have to figure out very quickly, because Navi are gonna, with that, losing Zeus in that position, surely they're just gonna have to run into the A-bomb site. They do have a minute to play with, so they could try to pull or capitalize or punish some rotations from NRG as they occupy middle, which has been completely abandoned, and that does allow for boosts.
Yeah, but with the smoke top connector, Navi have actually limited what they can do in the short term. So they've given a window for NRG to rotate because they took connector with that smoke grenade. They know Cirque is lurking somewhere, so there has to be fear with that. 35 seconds, there's a smoke on Boomich. They're looking to clear jungle perhaps. Stanislaw will stop them from planting a bomb though. They're gonna be forced to engage with him. The smoke is up. There's a flashbang. It's beautiful. Stan's been spotted, but he's buying time to see again. Flamey jumping up, but he somehow finds the frag. Ethan is here, but he can't trade. Grenades will force them from their position, and the bomb's been planted.
This is a tough one for Cirque and Ethan coming back in. Good positioning here from Navi. They are very spread out. Lots of positions to worry about. The incendiary will help. That deals a sandwich. There's no T player there. Double peak will be coming in from... Oh, we're going to go for the boost. That's pretty brave. Boomich just peers from that A-ramp position. Really nice timing. And now Ethan rescues the AWP. Navi looking to survive here. Looking to cut off everything. As Simple's about to take away this AWP from Ethan. And there's the double peak. You love to see it. Beautiful timing from Navi. And they pick up another round. They stay alive in this one. Looking to get to 18. Looking to force the second overtime.
One more round for either team. For a very different situation. Cirque with just enough money to buy another AWP. So integral to this squad. 2 MP9s. Now we see the shortcomings when you have a big investment at the beginning, even with a back and forth. If you lose players, you lose money. Cirque in a short position, no challenge early. Navi favoring presence in apartments, and again, no shyness from NRG. Breeze with a lot of information. He's in a very, very forward position. But with a player in Palace, how will they approach the B bomb site NRG? Ethan is aggressive. He's got his teammate Cirque to cover top mid, more or less, not completely, but he'll eventually fall off Ethan. Navi being careful. We can see Flamey moving away from the A bomb site now. How long does Breeze hold this position for? NRG looking to win the game in the mid position, but they lose the first duel with Boomich.
That is, he survives with 2 HP. What an important frag for Navi. Cirque is trying to punish, normally if underpass gets taken in the mid defaults, you'll see someone come top mid, but Cirque can't find that player. Navi are definitely playing a style here which NRG can't quite understand where they are going. So that is going to be quite confusing because you've got 4 players. Where do you push them? Where do you commit them? Now more mid presence coming in from Zeus. Stanislaw with the off angle though will win the battle.
And with that, Breeze starts to move through Palace immediately, but he's very, very far away, and the push is coming in towards the B bomb site, and Cirque is here. He's ready, he's waiting, and now he is the bait. You can see Tarek is just waiting for the plays. They're running out of players, Navi. They don't have anyone through the choke point, and it's Boomich with 2 HP and 25 seconds, and 4 NRG players. Spots 1, but he's got so much more to do. 20 seconds, NRG need not peek. He has to plant a bomb, let alone find these players. 15 seconds, he's on the window. Again, no one needs to peek. It only gets worse, and it's a 2-0 for NRG. They've taken the series versus Navi.
NRG into the semi-finals. What a match it was, going from strength to strength, really showing some great form on that first map, and things got hard, things got really real on this second one on Mirage. Navi, they had a good fight, but it just seems like NRG, there's just too much. The brute force approach from them was something that was very impressive. I think few teams in this tournament can really hold a candle to.
At the moment, NRG might be looking like the best team this tournament. Maybe there is a question to be asked by the teams to come later on. But for now, what a performance from NRG. And there will be no major for Simple yet. Not yet. His road comes to an end. The road for Navi in this tournament comes to an end. And they've got to be disappointed with this series.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, this has been such a difficult major for every single top team. Nothing has been given. We've seen upsets from start to finish, and that just goes to show the level of Counter-Strike is ridiculous, and that makes it even better for NRG that they are one of the teams that does stand tall when it's so hard. And it is time to hear from NRG with Trace down on the stage.
Thank you so much, fellas. That's right, I've got NRG. Let's make some noise for these semi-finalists. Well, Stan, I've got to ask you, you've led these guys to new heights. You guys are now in the semifinals, and you've done it the long way, the hard way. You had to go through the minors. You did it the longest way possible. Talk to me about how you guys are feeling.
We're feeling great. We're feeling confident, and I blew chunks that last map, but this guy's insane, this guy's insane, this guy's insane, this guy's insane, that coach is insane. We have one of the best rosters out there, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
All right, would you happen to agree with that, Berlin? Sounds like they're on your side. You guys have quite a bit of a fan base out there. Tarek, what do you got to say?
I want to thank you guys in the crowd. You guys cheered us through the whole way, and you guys are a big part of how we won that game. So shout out to everyone in the crowd and everyone at home as well in Twitch chat. You guys are the MVPs.
Can't forget Twitch chat. I know that you guys are out there. One last question I'm going to have for you is this. We got another quarterfinal coming up. You know it's a big one. I'm sure you guys have had your eye on it. It's going to be Liquid Astralis. Who do you want to play?
I don't care because we already beat both.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. A little trash talk, a little banter. Let's go ahead and make some noise for the second semi-finalist.
Oh, the energy, you can feel it from them. NRG are off to the semi-finals. Stanislaw, quite the statement. Not only have they bested Liquid, Astralis, Navi, Renegades, all teams in the top 8, and now Navi sent home in 2, no less. They do not slip up. That record is not tarnished. One mess up is all they've had versus the Dream Eaters.
Absolute respect for NRG. I came in here thinking Navi were going to show up in the big moments, and they crumbled. But the youngsters, all these individuals right here,